I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Trump administration says it's ready for the next step toward peace with Iran following the 2-week ceasefire agreement. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended President Trump's threat that, quote, a whole civilization will die if Iran failed to agree to a 2-week ceasefire. So now comes the next step.
The president is dispatching his negotiating team.
And Leavitt says those talks in Islamabad this weekend come with this condition.
So long as the Strait of Hormuz remains open, with no limitations or delays.
The fragile nature of the ceasefire has already been displayed as Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz following Israeli strikes in Lebanon. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Rex Heuermann pleads guilty to killing 7 women between 1993 and 2011 in what are known as the Long Island Gilgo Beach murders. The judge asks Heuermann,
are you pleading guilty voluntarily and of your own free will?
Yes.
Heuermann also admitted to murdering an 8th woman but was not charged in that case. After the hearing, Melissa Kahn, sister of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, expressed relief that justice has finally been served.
Maureen was never forgotten, not for a single moment. From the day she went missing until today, she has been carried in every breath, every memory, every fight for answers.
Crews are on the scene of a deadly partial collapse at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia parking garage, which is under construction. CBS News Philadelphia's Ross DiMattei.
One construction worker who was trapped in that collapse involving that parking garage was rushed here to Penn Presbyterian Hospital, and we have since learned that worker has died. We've also learned from Philadelphia Fire that 2 others are currently being searched for by crews at the scene where the collapse happened.
Philly's fire commissioner says crews are working on stabilizing the structure before resuming search and rescue operations. Astronauts on Artemis II are testing a few maneuvers today. Flight Entry Director Rick Henfling says one is so the crew can continue to power the subsystems in the spacecraft.
The crew is going to center the Earth in the field of view of one of the windows, and then they're going to fly the spacecraft to an attitude where the tail points towards the sun.
There's a debate about the citizenship of a newborn.
Caribbean Airlines ended up with a new passenger on its flight from Kingston, Jamaica to JFK International Airport Saturday when a pregnant passenger gave birth in the air. Air traffic control had a conversation with the pilots.
Is it out yet?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell her she's got to name it Kennedy.
But experts are debating the citizenship of the newborn, with some saying if the baby was born within 12 nautical miles of the U.S. coastline, the child would automatically qualify for birthright citizenship. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, a violent night in Kent leaves 3 people dead. The story after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, Global Credit Union has our update. South 5 at the Ship Canal Bridge. You've got a car fire blocking 2 left lanes, and that's got you sitting in a bumper-to-bumper backup starting in Northgate. Linwood to Seattle right now is up to a 35-minute commute. That's a 20-minute delay. In Renton, North 405, just past State Route 169, a disabled military vehicle blocks the right lane. You're backed up bumper-to-bumper all the way to I-5 in South Center, where it's up to 40 minutes from South Center to Bellevue. That is double the norm. North 5, we're packed from the Michigan Curve past I-90. Again, from Mercer to the Ship Canal Bridge. 35 minutes to drive through downtown. Again, State Route 99, a great option to get through downtown Seattle. All clear in both directions. South 405, scattered backups between South Bellevue and the VMAC in Renton. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour commute. Tacoma to Olympia is at 40 minutes. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. 3 murders in one night in the city of Kent. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery with the latest information.
We're told these are 2 separate, unrelated incidents adding up to one night of tragedy. Police found 2 people in their 20s with gunshot wounds in the backyard of a home not far from Kent Ridge High School. Neighbors say they heard an argument, then gunfire and cars speeding away. Those 2 victims died. In a separate incident across town, police got a call just before midnight from someone who found a man bleeding on a sidewalk who was believed to have been stabbed. First responders couldn't save him either. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
So far, no suspects in either of these cases. City of Tacoma is putting the brakes on new hires and promotions. They've launched a hiring freeze that'll run through the end of this year to save money. Tacoma has projected a potential $15 million deficit for the 2027 budget. Seattle city leaders are celebrating a landmark deal to protect a crucial source of hydropower for the next 50 years. KIRO News Radio's John Repp says it's a $4 billion agreement.
The deal focuses on 3 dams in a remote part of the Skagit River dating back to 1924. Together, they supply 20% of Seattle's electricity. But City Council member Dan Strauss acknowledges that the dams devastated ancestral lands and vital salmon runs.
You touched on a lot of the last 100 years that could have gone better.
As a result of the agreement, power rates would rise by 0.5% every year, but the agreement also includes nearly $1 billion for salmon run and habitat restoration. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
2 people facing charges after investigators say they dumped over 1,000 tires in Capitol State Forest. The Washington State Attorney General's office says chemicals from those tires can kill the salmon. AG Nick Brown calls the dumping a serious threat to the state's natural resources. And the Mariners bats staying quiet in Texas. They mustered just 2 hits, no runs today, getting swept by the Rangers.
The Rangers win all 3. The Mariners have now dropped 5 in a row.
M's record falls to 4-9. They fly back home to host the Houston Astros on Friday night in a 4-game series. Your weather updates, looking nice outside. Sunny skies. Right now 60 degrees, mid-60s for tomorrow and more sunshine. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Potato tots will blow your mind, and you don't mind if they're not cooked. You need your fix. I guess you're hooked.
Yeah.
And late at night.
Right. Ooh, yeah. Here you go.
Always dream.
Okay.
Of bacon bits.
Yeah.
And sour cream. Whoa, you like them even if they're lumpy or tough. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Woo-hoo,
Okay.
it's pretty obvious to me. You can't get enough.
Okay.
You know you're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to spuds.
Oh, wow. Didn't see that coming. Potato. There's one way to start the show. Again, we don't know what's coming on, but again, this is the type of, these are our listeners.
Yes.
I had to top that one. The Spuds, might as well face it, you're addicted to Spuds.
You think he wrote that? Or?
801-575-5532. It is the John Curley Show. 801-575-5532. You're all part of that. All right, secure all the numbers, get all that out of the way, and I'm going to dive into the news. You know anything about that? Joe T's on the ground again.
That's your job. You took that over.
I can't get her up right now because I'm tethered to the board. All right. Probably about 2 years ago, Sherry wanted to encourage me. I found a whole box of old diaries, and she's like, "Ooh, please read them on the air." And I did one day, and then she was like a salivating jackal. Oh, why don't you read another one from another day? I mean, it was so embarrassing. But I found one last night, and I thought, well, this is sort of interesting. Went to a really crappy psychiatrist, and the diagnosis was, because I had suffered a traumatic break with trust regarding my mother and the trust that my father had assumed she had for him and what his wishes were, it damaged me permanently. And I will take you back to the fateful day. And I wrote it in my diary. So that's why, I know, heavy stuff.
Oh, that's a tease.
I mean, that is a tease. That's a tease. Anyway, let's see what else. Then I sent you a picture of it, Joe. I'm glad we can't see ourselves on the screen because it's too distracting. My dream will come true if this lady can give us 3 or 4 minutes of her brilliance And I hope she's not holding secrets back, because if I can get all this out of Brooke Ettinger,
exactly,
yeah, then I can die a happy man. This I have been. If I could do this by October, I'd be like, done. No matter whatever else, like whatever. I'd be like a guy that got hit in the head with a brick or something.
But where's our news music?
I don't know. Oh, I forgot all that. So hang on. There it is. As Joe told me these. I was so thrown off by the Tater Talk song. Now it sounds like we're doing radio.
Okay.
All right, then Pam Bondi doesn't have to appear because for the Epstein deposition, because she's no longer Attorney General. But Bill Gates will be there. Tickets still available on June 10th. Bill being asked the questions. That'll be uncomfortable, don't you think?
Yes. Good.
No, look. This could be happier. Plus, Washington State is one of the worst highway systems in the nation, but it's weird. We have the highest gas taxes, and we'll find out from some folks over the Washington Policy Center what has gone right and what has gone wrong. The what has gone right part will take about 3 seconds. And then it's just the Tacoma Tribune had this, right?
Yes.
Washington teachers are some of the best paid in the nation. Where is the money going? And I like the argument that they made in there. The one guy's like, well, there are other people that have other jobs that get paid more than we get paid. And that's not right. It's like, okay. And they said, well, the equal amount of schooling. So I looked up the amount of hours the teachers have to go, and I compared that to nurses. And then you see, well, these other people are making more money than we are, and we've gone to school just as long as they have. Plus, the disturbing pattern regarding the disappearance. Another one of the scientists has disappeared. These are the guy who has these are the people who have all the secrets regarding UFOs. And another one is gone?
Another one has been discovered gone. It's been gone for
what the hell? Doesn't it feel like we live in 2 parallel universes? 3. All the weird, unexplained stuff. And then all the stuff that they try to explain to us, and then starting the show with somebody singing something about tater tots. It's three things going on at the same time.
I enjoy all of them.
And then if you want to listen to a podcast, or at least have trouble listening to a podcast, RFK Jr. has got Secretary Kennedy's podcast coming out.
Oh, can't wait.
All right, let's leave the rest of it alone. Wait, no, I'll take the last part. Joe Kent's warning about Israel sabotaging agreement. And then, the latest TikTok craze. You could get involved in this one. Did they beat you up when they catch you?
I mean, they may not be very gentle when they throw you out.
The door is open. You run in. You see how far you can get into the building.
I love this.
Would you do it?
If I was younger, probably. If I had a TikTok.
Of course, we're referring to the Scientology run. It's the new thing on TikTok, and you just see how far into the building you can possibly get until somebody says, hey, do you want to take a personality test? That's how they used to get you on the streets there in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. There was a Scientology place. It was right next to the karate studio. And the guys used to stand out there with a clipboard and say, do you want to take a personality test? And sure, I'll take a personality test. It seemed no matter what answer you gave, you'd be perfect for the Scientology group.
You'll fit right in here.
And hey, you know what? I just looked at your scores. You're not going to believe this, but I think there's a place for you.
Give you discounted membership.
I don't know what the bad part of it is. What's the worst part of Scientology?
I don't know either. Other than
people poop all over it. And when I went to interview, what's his name, Tom Cruise, they made you sign a great big 4-piece thing, so you're not going to ask about this, and not ask about Scientology.
There's the leader's wife who hasn't been seen in decades, I think. And then they've got that boat where they send kids to and families sometimes to get them away from society for a long time. It seems like a punishment, I think. You're certainly not. You have.
Is that like a Carnival cruise?
It's a Carnival cruise ship-ish. Then they've got really weird rules about talking about them, and so I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do this. If you are a member of the Church of Scientology, or were and no longer in good standing for whatever reason, I'd like to find out more about it.
That's the other thing. They follow.
Joe, I'm in the middle of doing the big pitch for the number.
Oh, sorry.
I'd like to find out about it. I'm just reading the script now. Mocha's Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. We'd love to be able to hear if you were a member or are still a member, or if you are part of the church and you'd like to have Joe and I take the personality test on the air. That'd be kind of fun to see which one of us gets on the boat. Yeah, and then gets a chance to go on a cruise. All right, here's the story. I have 4 diaries, and I found them in a box, and I was reading one the other night, and I just happened to open at a certain point, and I had a little note there that I had taken when I went to go see the psychiatrist. And I don't know if you've ever been to a psychiatrist or psychologist. Sometimes you get the feeling like, I should be charging them. These people are horrible what they do. Because I remember when I spent 4 arduous weeks in college before dropping out, though my roommate said, hey, if you want to find a girl that'll date you fast, date a psychology major because they're the ones that are most messed up. True?
Oh, date you fast. I see.
Yeah. They are trying to figure out their own self. So I went through a whole bunch of different psychiatrists and stuff, and one of them in particular was particularly bad. And here is her diagnosis. She said a profound break between, you witnessed a profound break between your mother and father when it came to trust, and forever that has affected your ability to develop strong emotional relationships with both men and women. That was the diagnosis. Okay, you want to hear the story that brought that diagnosis? Here it is. My mother sent us to bed that night. It was around 7:30. We were young at the time, and we waited in our rooms. We knew that there would be a secret sound that we would have to respond to, and we would come running downstairs quietly. She said, quietly, please, as quietly as you can, or this whole thing is going to fail. We were in our rooms, and we were waiting. At the bottom of our beds, we had our posters. Now, here's what happened. Earlier in the day, my dad had told my mother that he didn't like the gray hair and he wanted to dye his hair black. He told her this in the morning and said, would you please do me a favor and go get some hair dye? My mom said, absolutely. And as my father started to head out the door, he turned to her and says, do me a favor, don't tell the kids. I don't need the kids to know anything about this. Well, there were 3 of the kids, Lori, Chuck, and myself. We were all young, and my mom said, oh, absolutely, don't worry about it. I'll get the hair, just straight black hair dye. And with that, when she went to the store to get the hair dye, she stopped off at one of the aisles there at Kane's Market and picked up a bunch of poster boards as well, and some magic markers and some crayons. And when we all got home from school, Mom had everything laid out on the table because here was her plan. Her plan was that we'd make posters that said stuff like, new dad, and gray away, and who's the guy with the black hair, and things like that. Anything to just generally mock him. We were so excited to make the posters. Mom helped out with all the spelling, and they were quite large. And if you didn't want a secret, you didn't want these things being read or handled by anybody. So we all had dinner, and then Mom sent us all to bed, tucked us all in, and we waited. And the rule was, or the plan was anyway, that when Dad was over the sink, and Mom was working that black hair dye in, she would put the towel over his head, dry his hair a little bit, and then she would make a noise by banging on the wall. Now, I don't know how she was able to do this other than the fact that she turned off the sink and there was a couple of raps. That's all we needed. We could have heard a pin drop. We were really waiting for this great moment where we could run downstairs. She puts the towel over his head, so he's leaning over the sink, and we come running into the room. She turns to us and puts her finger to her lips and tells us to be as quiet as possible, and we are now waiting. All of us with our signs. And with that, my dad turns around, my mom moves the towel from the top of his head, he turns around and sees all of us, and we all scream with great joy that my father now has black hair and we have our signs. We make fun of him for hours, or at least anyway, it felt like hours because we were little kids at the time. And then the next day we did it again. We made more signs and we tormented him. And this, apparently, according to the psychiatrist that I was paying $100 an hour to, that seeing my mother break the trust from my father that my father had bestowed upon her, asking her not to tell the kids about the hair dye, had directly affected my ability to have full, fulfilling relationships with adults. And I remember paying that woman that. And when I told her that story, when she told me that, I was like, Okay, and that'll be the last time I ever see you again. There are so many bad therapists out there. The guy that wore cowboy boots and then asked me about motorcycles. I'm like, wait, how is this? Are we getting around to something here? And I realized he just wanted to buy a motorcycle. You think the Dyna Wide Glide would be a good choice for me? I'm like, am I paying for this? How does this get back to me? How am I affected by your choice to buy a Dyna Wide Glide?
So you're basically saying that the hair dye story couldn't have had a big effect on you.
Absolutely not. Do you think?
But you told the therapist about it.
No, I was telling stories about growing up. What was your mom like? What was your dad like? Was it a funny home? Was this and that? How did your mother and father communicate? Stuff like that. Because what you do is you see in your home how your mother and your father relate to one another. Mm-hmm. You then choose opposite sex parent. That's the person you're normally attracted to. As you get older, you try to find somebody. You understand love is not love. It's what is familiar. So, she said how you relate, and you watched how your parents interacted. Did they laugh a lot? Did they tease each other? Did they fight? How did they fight? That kind of stuff.
See, she knew right away that you were a storyteller. When she got you going, you're
burn up that time. No, I was very aware of the fact that I'm not going to tell a long story because I know the story unless I could give her just slices of it, because I'm not going to pay this to sit there. And they always have these clocks surreptitiously located everywhere. You turn around, there's one behind you, and then there's like one floating down near your knee somehow.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're probably just keeping an eye on
you see, and then they go, well, I see our time is up.
And mine always, you pay for an hour, but mine were always 45 minutes somehow.
Why is that?
I don't know. That just seemed to be the time when they'd call it. They'd say, okay, well, let's think
paying
about
for an hour?
Yeah.
The station pays for it, a certain number of them. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
They pay for mine now.
Yeah, they should.
Good.
All right. There we go.
I'll be late tomorrow.
I was thinking, and that's the end of that one. There we go. That explains a whole lot. More from the diary. I'll read some more stuff.
Yes, please.
When I was going through a really bad time in New York, and oh my God, I got glasses and put glass in them. They were like old glasses from the 1920s, these little round ones, and I was rolling my own cigarettes and smoking clove cigarettes and wearing a sweater in August in New York City.
Like
I was joining the beat kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's like really into that kind of thing. It's like, oh, so sorry. We stop these nuclear power plants. Godly. Embarrassing. All right, here comes Nate. Check your traffic, Nathan.
All right, John. D.R. Horton has our update. We just opened up 2 left lanes, South 5 on the Ship Canal Bridge following an earlier car fire. It's bumper to bumper, though, starting at Northgate Way, Linwood to Seattle. Plan on 35 minutes, a 15-minute delay. But this will start to open up fairly quickly now. In Renton, we still have our disabled vehicle, North 405, just past the Maple Valley Highway, blocking the right lane. It's a military vehicle. It either has a flat tire or lost a wheel. It is really sagging on one end. So you're bumper to bumper all the way back in South Center. South Center to Bellevue is at 45 minutes, a 25-minute delay. It's 35 minutes to get you through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. Your backup starts at the Michigan Curve. Both of our lake bridges are wide open. South 405, you're slow from 520 to the Renton Landing, a 20-minute trip between Bellevue and Renton. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 40 minutes. It is solid from State Route 18 all the way through Sumner. And westbound 18, you're packed bumper to bumper from Military Road all the way over to I-5, just volume. D.R. Horton has new homes and communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, TILA has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. TILA, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call TILA Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TILA Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Whether you've done a few things already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach joins me. You have an opportunity coming up that will really help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
Among other things, you and the LifePoint Law Team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust.
The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but is not.
Be a part of the next seminars in Olympia on April 9th or Federal Way on April 11th. Attendance is free, and the information will save you thousands. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250. Say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. That's 2-week ceasefire in the Middle East appears to be on shaky ground as Iran accuses Israel of violating the truce by striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. In response, Iran says it has closed the Strait of Hormuz. Vice President J.D. Vance pushed back on those reports.
We've already seen an increase in traffic today. Hopefully we'll see an increase in traffic tomorrow. We actually think that we are seeing signs that the Straits is starting to reopen.
And the vice president says Lebanon was never included in the ceasefire. He is set to take part in truce negotiations this weekend in Pakistan. Price of oil, meantime, dropped below $100 a barrel on news of the ceasefire. CBS's Jim Krasula reports still no relief at the gas pump.
The average price of a gallon of regular unleaded gas nationwide is nearing $4.20, while rising gas prices are prompting some to rethink summer travel plans. Others are taking it in stride. Matt Kushinka was gassing up in Richmond, Virginia.
We don't like it. Again, what choice do we have? If we're taking a road trip to see family, you got to have gas in the car.
The national gas price average has exceeded $4 a gallon for the first time in 4 years. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Average gas prices here in Washington held steady overnight at $5.39, but diesel rose to a new record average $6.89 here in Washington. As NASA's Artemis II astronauts prepare to splash down on Earth this Friday, a local professor warns about a possible threat to their eyesight.
Some astronauts come back from long-term space travel with swelling of the optic nerve at the back of the eye. That can lead to partial or even complete vision loss.
So the question is whether that is related to the pressure of spinal fluid in the astronauts as it is in patients on Earth.
Dr. Michael Williams, professor of neurology at the University of Washington School of Medicine, says a GLP-1 drug, that's the same class as weight loss drugs Wegovy and Ozempic, will be tested to see if it can lower that pressure. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Northwest has lost a mountaineering legend. Jim Whittaker has died. The Seattle native became the first American to summit Mount Everest in 1963. He also climbed Rainier more than 100 times. His family says Whittaker died yesterday at his home in Port Townsend. He was 97. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. It's a 40-minute trip right now between Linwood and Seattle. You've got a bumper-to-bumper grind from Northgate all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge, where we recently cleared a car fire, and that opened up a couple lanes for you. 40 minutes to get through downtown on North 5. Scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. Get out of these backups by heading over to Highway 99, which is wide open through downtown Seattle right now. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 40. It's 50 minutes between Bellevue and Everett. In Renton, we're still struggling with this disabled vehicle, North 405, just past State Route 169. It's blocking your right lane, and it's a parking lot starting in South Center. South Center to Bellevue is inched up to a 50-minute drive, a half-hour delay. And southbound 167, we're packed in the south end between State Route 18 and Sumner. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
To your forecast now, we are looking at clear skies and sunshine this afternoon. Right now, 59 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You still have your microphone on, Joe?
I was doing that so you could record quietly.
Oh, okay, fine. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line also not so quiet right now. Is that Teeny's taking care of letters of the day? 1-888-973-5476. You hear the John Curley Show. I said to Joe, if by like the 15th of October rolls around and suddenly there's a bolt of lightning and I just croak out right there, I'd be like, I'm fine. Because heaven is right there before me. Brooke Ettinger, who knows a lot about giant pumpkins. I know this is purely for my own satisfaction, Brooke. I got news for you. I know somebody who knows somebody who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows someone who got me the seed, the 1,500-pounder, baby. It's in a secret location. I don't want to say where it is, but my dream of growing a giant pumpkin is just a couple of months away. What do I need to do, Brooke?
Well, the first part, there's two parts that are really important. It's
okay.
The site preparation and to make sure that you're picking a location that has as much sun as possible. Okay. The sun is super important. You're going to get a lot of leaves. And so the sun is going to give all those leaves the energy to form a monster pumpkin. You also want like a large area because these plants, they grow big.
Yes.
And so as large as possible.
You would know they're at landogiants.com, the giant pumpkin grow supply. Here's the problem I have. I didn't have the big pumpkins. I had some that started to grow real big. Like we had Big Joe 2 years ago. He was like 80 pounds. But I didn't have the heart to like cut off the little guys that are like coming along beside it. And other pumpkin people are like, oh, no. You got to cut those guys off because they're taking some of the energy, some of the water. But I'm like, they're so cute and they're just they're all along the vine. And I just didn't want to get rid of them all. So they're like, well, then you're never going to have what it takes to be a giant pumpkin grower if you can't cut the little guys off.
You got to cut them off. I mean, some growers like to grow two because they'll have one as a backup. But as their first pumpkin or their primary pumpkin starts to, get really big, over a couple 100 pounds, they usually cut that second off because the energy is, you want it all going to that one pumpkin. Those people are right. I grow on a parking strip in Seattle, and I only start one pumpkin. So
whoa! Wait, Brooke, you grow it on a parking strip?
I do, up in Maple Leaf. And so it's, you can check it out on Google Maps. It's Maple Leaf Pumpkins, but anyone can come see it, but it's only 200 square feet and you can still grow a giant. So you don't have to, a lot of growers will prefer to have at least 1,000 square feet, but you can grow on what space you have because these guys just want to thrive. And so they're going to grow big no matter what. Yeah. You're not going to get the 2,000-pound pumpkin. But
excuse me, Brooke. I'm sorry. Perhaps you don't realize who you're speaking to. I'm not going to get it. This seed is. The guy told me it's 1,500 pounds, almost guaranteed.
It is. But on 200 square feet, it's going to be highly unlikely.
But you have a whole.
But Brooke, you're the one stuck on a parking lot somewhere in Maple Valley or whatever. I got land, baby.
Yeah. Oh, well, then you will probably get to 2,000 pounds. I mean, try to go for 1,000 square feet, and the pumpkin will grow between 50 and 60 pounds a day. It's miraculous. It's very satisfying. You're going to be able to see the growth every single day. You'll walk out, you'll leave for a day, and you'll come back, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, it grew. It's huge.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
60 pounds a day?
Yeah. Brooke, it's act like no one's listening. Because probably they're not anymore. I got to tell you something. I go out in the mornings. I have 25 acres. I go out in the morning and I walk along the patch, right? And before I go to bed at night, I'll go out with a flashlight. And Nick's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Going to see the pumpkins." And I walk out there, and they're all out there, and the crickets are jumping all over the place, and I'm checking on them all the time. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why I have this deep love of these pumpkins. I guess because that you can almost watch them grow and you just see them get going, and then I give them away to all the kids in town. Here's the question. Do I need to create a special bed for them so it doesn't rot? It's going to get so big. Do I try to keep the soil underneath, or do you set up like a piece of wood? No? Nothing?
Yeah, you don't want to lay them on soil because the soil has microbes that will come and eat the skin of the pumpkin.
Right.
So the best thing to do is to lay down like a foam board, put holes in the foam board for drainage. If you can't get foam boards, then at least lay on sand. I do like at least foam board and then sand because the sand acts like ball bearings as the pumpkin grows and expands. And you want it to be able to roll along. You don't want it to get cut up in anything because then the skin will get cut and it will scar in that location. So the skin is very supple. Another important thing for you is to make sure you cover the pumpkin when it's growing from the sun, because they can get sunburned or easily scratched. The skin is very supple, and you want it to stay supple so that it can grow and stretch every single day.
What am I covering it? What do you cover with, Brooke?
I would cover it with a blanket, like a queen size, king size sheet, and sometimes you need two as they get bigger. But I mean, some people use down comforters, some people use sleeping bags, but you want to keep it, and you want to keep it shaded. You want to keep the plant shaded as much as possible, so you can get shade cover to put over. Some people create like a tent to put over their pumpkin and put like a tarp over it.
Right.
But you want to keep airflow moving through the plant and the pumpkin so that it doesn't rot or anything. And the sand is really important because the little sand granules do act like ball bearings to help it.
To let it move along. Okay. So
you got to go visit Brooke and get like all the.
Well, I saw Evening Magazine did a story on her about 3 years ago or something like that. So, all right, the sand and the tent, and then because the pumpkin itself doesn't need the sun, it's all the leaves that are connected to it and the vine that's connected to it. That's where the photosynthesis occurs. Yeah. Right. Okay. Got it.
You want to keep the pumpkin out of the sun. And honestly, I mean,
Brooke, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. It's a big pain in the ass. Too much time, too much effort. I forget. Never mind.
No, it's fun.
You're doing it.
No, I'm
60
doing it.
pounds a day. I have a question. Are these seeds are really that important? They have like genetic code or something to make these giant pumpkins?
Yes, absolutely. The seed is probably the most important part of starting the pumpkin. If you get seeds from like a big box store and they say Atlanta Giant Pumpkin, skip over them. Do not buy them.
Yep.
You can get seeds from growers. You can get them from Land of Giants. You can get them from, if you join a growing club like Pacific Northwest Giant Pumpkin Growers, you can get them from there. It's really important because they are genetically inclined to grow to a certain point. Now, if you get an 800-pound seed, you can still make it to 1,000, 1,200 pounds, but and you could still maybe possibly get over that. It has the genetics to go big. I mean, people have been working on the genetics of the seed for years. They've kind of come, we've tailored it down to a certain point. So if you have a 15-pound, 100-pound seed, you could get to 17, 18, 2,000.
That's where I'm going. I'm going 1,700.
Are you confident in this
That's what the guy told me.
Yeah.
He was in the shadows. I didn't see his face. But yeah, so 1,700 pounds for the thing. All right, when I start to do all the planting and everything end of May. It's when the soil's warm enough. I know I'm getting enough sun. I'm composting right now, so May's the time to plant. Correct?
I'm going to plant next week, actually.
Well, you know what? You're planting over there near a Best Buy parking lot or something.
Yeah.
I'm out in the clum.
This is a professional.
I know.
You got to take this advice.
I do. Okay, so you're going when? You're going a week from now. You're planting.
About that, yeah,
Okay.
mid-April. But I would always start my seeds inside,
Yes.
and then I plant out in May under like a cold frame, so it stays warm. And there's a lot, So if you're going to plant direct style into the soil, then yeah, I would wait until the risk of frost is gone, the soil has warmed.
Yep.
Otherwise, definitely plant inside. And if you contact me on our website at landagiants.com, I will send you a free PDF of the growing and fertilizer guide.
All right, and then
we'll take you through the germination process.
Good. And at that point, I will start to text you photographs of myself next to this thing. And you will grow with my pumpkin. Yes, I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good. It's nice to meet someone else that has a deep and abiding passion for the great big pumpkin. Thank you, Brooke Edinger. Thank you very much at landogiants.com, the giant pumpkin growing supply place. We'll see.
Thank you.
I don't want to make a competition out of it, but I'm looking at 1,700 pounds. That's what the guy told me. Mr.
Go
K. He wouldn't give me his full name, but he goes just by Mr. K, and then he disappeared into the darkness. All right, thanks, Brooke. Appreciate it. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All righty then. Linwood and Seattle already improved a 25-minute commute with scattered backups still between Northgate and downtown. 35 minutes to get through downtown on northbound I-5. Scattered backups between the Michigan Curve and across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 405, you're going to slow at 520 down about 112th, and then you'll break free. Extra slow, though, between Southeast 8th and Coal Creek Parkway. Parkway. Bellevue to Renton, a 25-minute commute. North 405 through Renton, just past the Maple Valley Highway. We're still, on scene of a disabled vehicle blocking that right lane. And we're bumper to bumper starting at I-5 in South Center. South Center to Bellevue just continues to climb. We're pushing an hour, 55 minutes, a half-hour delay. Seattle to Federal Way is at a half hour. Slow along South Center to 516. And Tacoma to Olympia, give yourself 45 minutes. And on the water, the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal just reporting a 1 hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid, and that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go, now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
Hey, what a surprise. We got tons of rain here in the Northwest in the late winter into the spring. It all adds up. Now's the time of the year when the ground becomes completely saturated with water, and that can cause real problems in your crawl space. It's Mike Salk here, and groundwater intrusion in crawl spaces, it's pretty common, but it's got to be addressed before it causes structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. You don't want any part of that. That's why if you're worried about any groundwater in your crawl space, you call Crawl Pros and you get a free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll climb into that crawl space, see what the condition is. They will go where you don't want to, definitely where I didn't want to. They came to my house and handled all this stuff. If they find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump and reroute that water outside your home's footprint where it belongs. Don't take the risk. Do what I did. Have Crawl Pros come out for that free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried that anything is going on with your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Whether you've done a few things already or you're just beginning to plan for your retirement, it's never too late to make sure you have everything covered. Elder law attorney Rajiv Nagayach joins me. And you have an opportunity coming up that will really help answer some important questions, don't you?
We do. And every month we take take 3 or 4 opportunities to go to the communities and educate people about what proper retirement planning is. The notion of retirement planning around having a hodgepodge plan, working with a financial planner, a lawyer, a CPA, a doctor, those pieces by themselves are not going to give you the results you want in retirement.
Among other things, you and the LifePoint Law Team want to teach us about the Safe Harbor Trust.
The single biggest financial threat in retirement is an uncovered medical illness. A Safe Harbor Trust, it should be a must in most of these estates, but it's not.
Be a part of the next seminars in Olympia on April 9th or Federal Way on April 11th. Attendance is free, and the information will save you thousands. Sign up now at lifepointlaw.com. lifepointlaw.com.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Families across Western Washington voted Aegis Living Best Senior Living Community, and Seniorly ranked them #1 in America. See why. Schedule a tour today at aegisliving.com/KIRO and get a special take-home gift. Aegis Living. This must be the place.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium heat pump and air cleaning package at CM Heating. Start today with an always free estimate. There's no beating CM Heating for heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical. Go to cmheating.com.
Pam Bondi got fired, so she doesn't have to testify. She's supposed to do a deposition. Don't roll your eyes, Joe. Let me just play this. Hold on, something from CNN.
The DOJ is saying that she will not be testifying because, according to them, she was subpoenaed as in her role as the Attorney General, and she obviously will no longer be serving in that capacity. It is worth noting, though, that the House committee does leave open the door to the possibility of her coming in later, saying that they're going to be talking to her personal counsel about next steps regarding scheduling her deposition. Right. So not closing the door quite yet. Though, as one might expect, the Democrats on this committee, that the top Democrat, Robert Garcia, out with a statement just within the last few moments, saying that the subpoena is to Pam Bondi, whether she is Attorney General or not. She must come in to testify immediately, and they are threatening to begin contempt charges in the Congress if she does not indeed show up. And this, of course, comes just like a few hours, actually, after we saw.
Yeah, you don't want to be charged with contempt of Congress if you're a Republican. So if you ignore the subpoenas and you don't show up, contempt of Congress, let's see. Let me count how many people have actually served jail time. Scooter Libby, the Republican. That's one. Steve Bannon. I think, was it Klein? Someone else went in there. I think there's only 3 times. Ezra Pound, literary agent. That was back in 1930 because he didn't want to talk about, are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party, that kind of stuff. And then another guy, same thing, another guy during the whole Red Scare. But if you're a Republican, contempt of Congress, you ignore a subpoena, you're going to do jail time. They're going to show you. So just be careful, Bondi, if you don't show up. She will show up and to do the same thing. Last time she testified, and they're asking her all the questions. She just fought hard. I think Trump's advice. Trump's advice to her is like, you just keep kicking him and just hitting where it hurts, and
and she lied.
Be as strong as you possibly can. Yeah. Okay, well, it's what's perjury? What's perjury? All right, the news. But the other news is that Bill Gates will also have a chance to testify on the 10th or on June 10th. Now, is that going to be a public one or is that a private one? Is that one? I can't remember.
They say. I mean, they. I'm sure he will want it to be private. The Clintons managed to get had theirs privately. So
they wanted. She said she wanted it public so that she could see everything. Then,
right. They managed it.
Yeah, you look more sort of guilty or something unless you're there doing it publicly. Then they all get a chance because all those, I guess they're going to it's for the House, right? So they're going to be in there asking questions because they want their 15 seconons.
Well, here's the tin hat question for you. Did they fire her just to keep her from testifying?
The
timing is awfully suspicious.
You can connect all this stuff. I think, okay, yes, sir. You make you feel better?
Yes,
whatever. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Linwood to Seattle is a half-hour trip. Scattered backups remain between Northgate and downtown. 35 minutes to get through downtown on northbound I-5. Your scattered backups start at the Michigan curve. Again, State Route 99 still looks good through downtown. A great option in both directions. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both pushing 45, 50 minutes. I-5 slows to Shoreline, again through Mill Creek. 405 is scattered between Kirkland and Alderwood. North 405 heading through Renton, just past the Maple Valley Highway. Stalled vehicle still blocks that right lane, and your bumper to bumper starting at I-5 in South Center. It's 55 minutes from South Center to Bellevue. That's about a half-hour delay. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway this afternoon looking pretty good, taking just 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. I have got to say that the only guy to see, if you've got a bad shoulder, elbow, wrist, ankle, knee, whatever it is, and you've noticed you got bone on bone, you can't play tennis, you can't ski anymore, maybe jog, walk, whatever is bothering you because you just get the shoulders just starts to get stuck there or the elbow hurts all the time. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. This guy's the best. Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine, he has been in this business now for 30 years. And when it comes to stem cell procedures, and you start to do some research on it, you'll see his name pop up time and time again. He is a leader in the world of stem cell procedures. This is a 90-minute outpatient procedure. I wish I could fix my tongue right now, like he did my hip. And what happens is, you go in there, he looks at your MRIs and your x-rays, and he's seen all these cases before. He's seen them all. He had a 92-year-old woman come in with bad knees. He goes, well, I've never had a 92-year-old woman with bad knees, but let's see. She came back in the next day or a couple of days later with her friend, said, help her. She's almost 100. He's seen it all, and he's helped so many. So before you go under the knife, drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
With Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, maintenance is the key to a long-lasting roof. Need an inspection, repair, restoration, moss removal, or just a cleanup? Call us today. Our first-time customers can save $99. Visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Holy smokes! The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
April showers bring May who am I kidding? We live in Western Washington. The only thing April showers bring are clogged and overflowing gutters, which can damage your home from your roof to your foundation. Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and my friends at Valentine Roofing are ready to come to your rescue. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, Valentine also offers gutter guards to help keep leaves and needles out for good, giving you an additional layer of defense against clogged and overflowing gutters. Having Valentine out at my house and seeing their professionalism and attention to detail, it's no surprise. Valentine Roofing was awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company and Silver for Best Gutter Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. You deserve the best too. So schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA!
File with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. TurboTax helps you get your biggest refund, and then Credit Karma helps you do more with it. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A fragile ceasefire between the U.S., Israel, and Iran takes hold. CBS's Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
President Trump posted this morning on social media that the U.S. would be working with Iran to dig up their enriched uranium stockpile. And in exchange, America is talking with Iran about tariff and sanctions relief.
Israel says it does not consider Lebanon to be covered by the U.S.-Iran ceasefire, and it launched deadly airstrikes today. The BBC's Hugo Bachega reports from Beirut.
There is a plume of smoke billowing. There's a lot of destruction, a lot of damage here, which gives us an idea of the power of this attack.
Found amid the rubble, glimpses of lives that have been interrupted, pictures of smiling families, pieces of clothing, school homework that was left unfinished.
Only 3 states have average gas prices below $3.60 per gallon. 5 states top $5 per gallon. For this driver in Louisville, Kentucky,
it used to be I could fill my car up for $40 and make it, 4 days before I have to put more gas in. And I've found myself a few times stopping multiple times a day to put $20, $40, $60 in the tank.
These are the highest gas prices since the summer of 2022. One person, a construction worker, has died and 2 other people are missing after a partial collapse at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia parking garage, which is under construction. CBS News Philadelphia's Nikki Dementri.
What we can see from the ground is really that first and second story. Those cement slabs are fallen at this point. They're leaning at this point. We can't see exactly what they're looking for inside that building.
Former Attorney General Pam Bondi will ignore a congressional subpoena. CBS's Jim Krasula with details.
In a written statement, House Committee on Oversight and Reform Democrat Representative Robert Garcia said, quote, "Now that Pam Bondi has been fired, she's trying to get out of her legal obligation to testify before the Oversight Committee about the Epstein files and the White House cover-up." Garcia also said, again quoting, "The bipartisan subpoena is to Pam Bondi, whether she's the Attorney General or not. She must come in to testify immediately, and if she defies the subpoena, we will begin contempt charges in the Congress."
March has been the hottest month on record for the continental U.S. in 132 years. That according to federal weather data. And the next year or so, it looks to turn up the dial on a global warmth even more, and some forecasts predict a brewing El Nino will reach super strength. This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Coming up, a violent night in Kent. 3 people dead at 2 crime scenes. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
And this one is brought to us by Wilcox Farms. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both pushing 50-minute commutes. I-5, you're slow through Shoreline. And then again, north of that Linwood interchange. And then 405, we're seeing scattered slowing between Kirkland and Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, less than 15 minutes. Coming the other way, Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. You've got backups from Northgate all the way to I-90. 40 minutes on northbound I-5 through downtown. Your scattered backups start at the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. In Renton, North 405, just past the Maple Valley Highway. Our long-term disabled vehicle is now blocking mostly on the right shoulder. I'm seeing cars using that right lane now. So we're bumper to bumper at I-5 and South Center, but it's starting to thin out a bit. South Center to Bellevue has improved to 45 minutes, down from 55. Down in Fife, North 5 at Porter Way, we've got a new stall in the right lane. And Tacoma to Olympia is a 45-minute commute. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. 3 people are dead following a violent night in the city of Kent. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
The first incident happened just before 10:30. 2 men in their 20s shot in the backyard of a home near Kent Ridge High School. Neighbors heard an argument, then gunfire and cars speeding away. Kent Police Chief Rafael Padilla.
We are going to work relentlessly to identify who was involved and bring them to justice.
About 2 hours later, a man was fatally stabbed outside a convenience store on West Meeker Street. Police say the cases are unrelated and so far no suspects in either. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
At a Renton, where police are investigating shots fired calls at Jean Coulon Park on back-to-back nights. Gunfire happened Monday and Tuesday evenings at the north end of the park, each involving large groups and dozens of shots, police say. No injuries reported, but several vehicles were hit by bullets. Police are increasing patrols. The Violent Crime Unit is leading the investigation. Seattle dog kennel worker who beat a dog to death last summer will serve 3 months in prison after pleading guilty to a felony animal cruelty charge.
Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecutor's Office says if they'd filed a gross misdemeanor rather than a felony, he could have gotten a year, but the judge would not have been able to ban him from ever having any animals, which did happen in this case because of that felony charge.
And also, we didn't want this guy having a gun, because if you're this cruel to a black lab, that's not somebody who should have a gun in the future.
And now that he's a convicted felon, he'll be barred from having one. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Washington's Attorney General Nick Brown says he's cracking down on illegal tire dumping. 2 people now facing charges for dumping more than 1,000 tires in Capitol State Forest. Brown's office says tires contain a chemical lethal to salmon. And from Super Bowl champion to newlywed, Seahawks QB Sam Darnold just said, "I do." KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun.
He is collecting rings this year, and on Friday, he got married. Yeah, we're talking that kind of ring this time. He announced yesterday he tied the knot with his longtime fiancée, Katie. According to ESPN, no phones were allowed during the wedding. His guests included Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, his wife, actress Haley Steinfeld, and San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey.
And Hawks teammates Cooper Kupp and Drew Lock were also there for the wedding. To your weather update now. Sunny skies right now. More sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures climbing into the mid-60s for Thursday, upper 60s on Friday. Right now, 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
This is informative.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Yes, what is
Thank
it?
you.
Here we go.
Hey, I'm just here to remind you that when life isn't horrible, it's actually pretty good. So if you just don't think about how horrible it is and think about how good it is, then it gets better. Even though the horrible stuff's still happening, there's still a lot of good stuff.
Nice. I think you cut him off here. Was he going to wrap that up with something? No, he was going to kind of keep going. It's like an Escher painting. I like it.
Life's pretty good, you know.
Until it's horrible. Then don't think about the horrible stuff, although it's horrible.
Keep happening. Driving it.
I forget who it was, which Greek philosopher said that life is like you're a dog leashed to a chariot, and the chariot is pulling along, and the reason you're upset is because you really don't have any say as to what direction you're going. You're just being pulled by the chariot, being pulled along. And then all you can do is just accept the fact that you really can't control that much.
Are you talking to me directly right now?
I'm just sort of saying it out loud. I'm not looking at you. All right. Hey, some good news. The state of Washington. Let's see. You ready? Last year, hit the fanfare there, Union. Last year, the Washington State Highway System was ranked 47th out of 50 states. And now, bring it up to big crescendo. We are 48th.
Oh,
come on, everybody! Yes. Let's beat Ohio, or whatever the ones are. Who's slightly worse than we are? I can't tell. Yes, we're 48th. We're there. Come on, if you're going to have a crappy road system with great big potholes and all sorts of budgets that are way over whatever they predicted, and you're not delivering on time, let's be the worst of them all. Let's be 50th. What is it?
Alaska's 50th and California is 49th.
We'll never beat California.
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, and Alaska's tough too. I should be happy with where we are. Yeah, so apparently just the money's not there, or the money is there, but the money's not being spent properly. So Washington Policy Center, Charles Prestard was talking about this, and he was talking about the budget and a bunch of the different problems that go with it. So a couple of serious problems when it comes to maintenance. Charles says
they had a couple of really serious problems to deal with. One is they've underfunded highway preservation and maintenance for more than a decade. And
what? More than a decade?
Wow.
Because you got to put money aside for these things. But they haven't been funding it for more than a decade.
It had gotten to the point where bridges were being closed because of corrosion and deterioration. One of them, the one on SR 165 over the Carbon River, has gotten to the point where it's no longer salvageable. They're going to have to tear it down and build an entirely new bridge. That's going to be very expensive. So the Washington State Department of Transportation,
which is a lot like Trump and Israel, they're just blowing bridges up left and right.
Estimated that they needed about an additional $1 billion per year for more than another dozen years to get caught up on all the huge backlog of deferred maintenance and preservation projects.
You ever own a condo and they get the HOA fees, or you got your condo fees? It's like, oh, you get a condo with a $300,000 condo. Oh my gosh, the mortgage is only $600. And then you're like, oh, the monthly fees. You're like, what the hell? The fees add up in that thing. You got to put the money aside. You have the money ready to go, but apparently either they rob it, steal it from some other place, or they never account for it. And then Charles says large projects already underway are over budget.
They have a number of very large projects which are already underway.
Yes.
For instance, the North Spokane Freeway, the I-405 project here in the Puget Sound region, and others, where they've had very large cost overruns. And so they needed to find additional funding to complete those projects. Though, because they didn't find enough funding for everything, they pushed out some of those projects so they'll be completed a year or two later than planned.
Yeah, because roads are not sexy and fun, and you can't pay off. Well, you got union guys in there, but you can't pay off a bunch of special interest things. Let's face it, a lot of people there in Olympia really don't want you in that car. They like the fact that you're like the dog tied to the leash to a chariot, bumping along through all the potholes. And then the state of Washington's got a little problem when it comes to return on investment.
If we expect the state of Washington to be economically competitive and prosperous, then the return on public investment for transportation is vital. And if those tens of billions of dollars go into things that cost us a lot but provide very few or no benefit.
Let's see if we can think of any of those. Let's see. There's a doctor in Spokane that you pay him $5 million, and he will cut off the genitals and mutilate prisoners that say they're male or female or whatever they want to be. That's $5 million. It's
total or each?
No, that's what they pay the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of other ones that just comes to mind for some reason.
Then that actually weakens.
I mean, not that that's going to like fix a road, but it all adds up.
The state's economic position relative to other states and other regions that spend their money in ways that make their transportation systems more efficient.
Yeah, businesses do look at that. Like, how long will it take us to deliver a bunch of boxes from here to there? What are the roads like? What's the cost? Do I have to go around it? How much time I sitting in traffic? All of that windshield time adds up, and it's to the bottom line. But as Charles points out from the Washington Policy Center, they don't have the money, they don't fund it, and now we're 48th. We have to try to beat Alaska. Alaska's the worst?
Alaska's Alaska's 50th.
Well, they have a lot of problems up there in Alaska.
What kind?
Well, the roads. And first of all, you don't have enough people to pay for all the roads, and then also it takes a real beating on the weather.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you got the elk and the
true.
Eskimos and stuff. Yeah, so we're 48th. We'll never make it, but we will continue to see more and more roads degrade. And again, you just get the feeling they don't want you on. They don't want you in the cars. They just would rather have you not be using the roads whatsoever. And now the other great news. One more fanfare in there, if you please, Ian. There we are. It's another good one for you. Ready? Here we go. Washington teachers are now the best paid in the nation, the News Tribune says, and then asks the question, where is the money going? To the teachers. I mean, just answer the question. So I looked into the piece, and it was really interesting. They're going to go through the thing. Okay, the fourth highest in the United States, and blah, 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 blah. They looked at Pierce County. The average salary for a teacher, Pierce County, 2024-2025 is $97,000. And then this guy, Larry Delaney, the president of the Washington Education Association, teachers union, said the group is happy to see that the state's teachers rank so high in compensation compared to other states, period. He said they're lagging behind those people who work in professions that require the same amount of education. Quote, we want to be able to keep up, Delaney tells the News Tribune. Quote, that's what we advocate at state level. So what he's upset about is, he says, well, there's people that, are going to school just as long. They're going there for 4 years, maybe take an extra year, and they're making more money. Well, that's not fair. And the the Economic Policy Institute comes along and says there's a thing they call teacher pay penalty. The wage gap between teacher salary and salaries from equally educated non-teaching peers. What? Washington teachers in 2024 had the 15th highest pay penalty in the country. So they're saying, okay, so Steve goes to school to be a nurse, right? And then he gets paid a certain amount of money, but the teacher went to school for the same amount of years. Not as difficult. Absolutely not as difficult. He has to do a lot of chemistry and biology, and the dropout rate in nursing school is about 30%. When it comes to teachers, it's anywhere between 5 and 10%. So that's not you're going for the same amount of years, but let's face it, you might have to be a little hit the books a little harder to be a nurse. But these guys are going, well, it's not fair because they're going to school for the same amount of time. They say that, it's not fair because similar educated professionals like nurses and accountants. Okay, so why should the teacher be paid the same as the nurse? Just because they went to school for the same amount of time? That's known as the teacher pay penalty. So then I looked up, and I know teachers are going to be writing in. I understand the numbers can go up and down a little bit, but it's 184 days, maybe 190, maybe a little bit more. But how many nurses do you know that get off for the summer and for Christmas break and spring break and other additional days? So let's say you're working 185, 190 days out of the year, and you do the math, you divide it all up, you make it about $70 an hour or something like that. And then say, whoa, I also work extra hours when I'm not in school. I know, my sister's a teacher. I know you work extra hours. But nurses are not taking off all the additional days. They're not working 180 days. They may be working even longer hours. Sometimes they work, 4/12s or something like that. They have longer schedules. But this idea that somehow they're supposed to get paid the same amount because they spent the same amount of time in school makes no sense. So I looked up. Right now, there are 6,100 nursing jobs that are open. And because there's an opening, they're paying, and they want you to get in there. If you want to be a dental hygienist, they're really looking for those. They'll pay you $120,000 to $130,000 to be a dental hygienist. Now, should they get paid the same amount? Should teachers make the same amount of money? It's just a bizarre sort of comparison between the two. And then if you just look at the state of Washington, we continue to pay the teachers the highest rates in the country, but we don't get exactly the best outcome. And that seems to be a problem that's being ignored by most. And I will say this before all these teachers or anybody else that writes in and says that I'm a horrible human being. I get this. You only have that kid for a few hours. And if that kid at home is not being taught to be respectful of authority and adults, and if that kid at home is not being encouraged to read, and that kid at home is not being told that education is your key to success, then there's nothing that teacher can do. That kid will sit in that class or run around that classroom and backtalk that teacher and disrupt other kids that are in that classroom that are trying to learn. And that kid can be the biggest problem you have. And it doesn't matter you had 6 hours or 12 hours with him. When that boy or girl goes home to that home and that mom or dad or mom or whatever it is that's in that house that's supposed to be in charge of that child has no regard for education, that kid will have no regard for education, and there's no way a teacher can fix those social problems. And that's the case. And that's a shame, because for the kids that are sitting in that class that have to sit next to this other kid that doesn't want to learn and doesn't want to be there, their education is affected as well, because the teacher is then teaching to the lowest common denominator and always going back to take the laggers back up and trying to get them up to move everybody else. And those kids are just sitting there in class while they're teaching to the child that doesn't want to be in the classroom. So here's something radical. Let them go.
Well, they can make everybody's life miserable, too.
Then kick the kid out of school, and that's it. Be done. And then we have a duty, and we have to educate him. Well, really? He don't want to be there. Don't want to be in the class. Doesn't want to be there. I don't want to sit next to him. I don't want my kids sitting next to him. You can't kick them out because they won't allow them to discipline. I've talked to a number of teachers that have quit, and one of the reasons they quit, one, they're tired of being verbally assaulted, physically assaulted, and when they try to discipline the kid or send the kid out in the hallway or down to the principal's office, they bounce right back again. It's very, very difficult to be a teacher in that environment. I have an idea. Why don't we support public schools that would allow parents to have choices, like a charter school or something? Why not have that? Why not allow them to send the kid to the school they want to send the kid to? Why not support school choice? Oh, no, not in the state of Washington. And then when the whole idea of being able to have a tax deduction of $1,700, you could take the $1,700, give it to any school you want, public, private, whatever you want to do, Catholic, parochial, you could do any school you want. $1,700, you could take it right off your taxes. So I think 24 states, 23 or 24 states said, yeah, we'll do that. State of Washington, no way, no how. They did not want you to be able to give $1,700 and tax deduction because they don't want to see where the money would go, because they know some could go to a public school, some could go to a private school. They don't want to give you the opportunity to know, hey, look at this, I could fund something. It's amazing how the government hates monopolies. They brought in Bill Gates and they beat him up left and right because you can't have a monopoly. You can't have Kroger's. You can't have Kroger's and Albertsons. No way, no monopoly, except in the school system. If you're born and you're living in that house and you're in that zip code, you're going to that school, whether you want to or not. And if your parents can somehow afford to send you somewhere else, where they're paying for the public school that they're not going to through their taxes, and then they're paying again through the private school, and you have enslaved that child to a place that the parent doesn't want the kid to be there and the kid doesn't want to be there either. And that's the way it goes. But don't forget, we are, hit the fanfare one more time. We are number one. Congratulations. We are number one. Washington teachers are some of the best paid in the nation. Where is the money going? Or some of the best paid? Not yet.
I have two questions.
Yes.
What does a superintendent's job entail? Because those guys are making ridiculous.
$400,000 or $350,000.
Yeah.
I guess whatever they're doing a good job. We've got 50% of the kids being able to read at grade level. The other weird thing is they hire so many administrators. Right. I was looking at the ratio. So now teachers, administrators, and other stuff, it's gone up 28%. Enrollment has only gone up 7%. 49% of Washington public school employees are not certified teachers. They're administrators. So you have all these people that are moving papers around, but not in the classroom. It's not spending the money in the classroom. Yeah, isn't it amazing that superintendent job?
That's wild.
It's good. $350,000, $420,000. What are you doing for that?
I would love to know. Can I go back to superintendent school?
Yes, you can. You got to go to nursing school first.
What's the difference between intending and superintending?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at
what makes them a superintendent?
Yeah. Well, they're really good at it. Super duper intended. Yeah. If you're a superintendent, and you're getting paid $375,000 or $450,000, and it's always amazing. They're always when they're crying poor mouth. We don't have enough money.
The lowest paid one I see in Western Washington is Issaquah at $394,000.
Oh my God! How are they making ends meet?
And they go Bethel, Washington. Their superintendent's making $545,000.
Well, I'm sure they're excuse me, they're earning every bit of it. Here's Nate having Nate on.
Let's see. In Tukwila, eastbound 518, a collision blocks 2 right lanes right at I-5. The backup isn't that bad. So, obviously, we've got light volumes down there this afternoon. But once you get over this, 405 is bumper to bumper northbound from I-5, just past the Maple Valley Highway, where we have a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. It's sticking out just a tad in that right lane. That's why drivers are slowing at the scene, and that's causing this backup. Then you got another brief backup further up the road there near the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue, we're down to 35 minutes, down from 55. South 405 jams up at 520 into Factoria. Bellevue to Renton is a half hour. 40 minutes north 5 through downtown Seattle. It is solid between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. North 5 down in Fife at Porter Way. We've still got a stall blocking that right lane. Not too bad of a backup there. You're backed up heading into the curve. South 5, though, we've got a looky-loo backup that starts bumper to bumper at State Route 18 to the scene. Federal Way to Tacoma, plan on 20 minutes. And southbound 167 at 410, a new crash blocking all southbound lanes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. For many people, a tax return is something you file and you move on, you think about next year. It documents what's already happened, but it can also reveal opportunities you may not be seeing. It's often said that CPAs look in their rear view mirror, documenting the past, while financial advisors look through the windshield, focused on the road ahead. It's pretty good. When those perspectives are aligned, though, when now your individual financial plan can really give you some clarity as to what happened and what can happen. Madrona Financial and the CPAs and the advisors there work together to review your tax return for savings opportunities that complement your investment strategies. They know what has happened, and they want to make something different happen the next time. So they see that your tax return tells a story. For more information, I highly recommend, especially as you're doing your taxes, you're thinking, geez, next year I don't want to pay as much. What can I do for my investments? You've got to get with MadronaFinancial.com. MadronaFinancial.com. Call them, 833-673-7373. 833-673-7373.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we stand by our quality gutters. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation. And visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Make this spring even sweeter with healthy saltwater soaks in a hot spring spa. During Olympic Sweet Spring Savings Event, save up to $3,000 on the hot tub of your dreams. Ends April 14th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man. You, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Every Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. That fragile Middle East ceasefire being tested right now that Iran has accused Israel of violating the truce by striking Hezbollah in Lebanon. Vice President J.D. Vance says Hezbollah was never part of that truce.
This is the nature of a ceasefire. No ceasefire ever goes without a little bit of choppiness.
President says the deal is subject to the complete and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran says is now closed. The White House says otherwise. More from CBS's Wei Zhizheng.
There are also questions about who will control the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has proposed charging a toll for oil tankers to get through, but the White House says Iran must allow free passage.
Vice President Vance is set to take part in the latest negotiations this weekend in Pakistan. For the fourth straight year, Washington is experiencing drought conditions, and today officials declared a statewide drought emergency.
Washington Ecology Department Director Casey Sixkiller says drought declarations are made when the water supply is below 75% of normal.
There's no way to sugarcoat what is happening today. We have entered April with roughly half of our normal snowpack. Our summer water supply is stored in winter snowpack.
Now, the Seattle-Tacoma area is not expected to have any water supply issues this summer. But in other parts of the state, there will be less water for irrigation, and Washington will have an increased wildfire risk. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
U.S. Small Business Administration has approved more than 200 disaster loans since December storms here in Washington. Deputy Administrator Bill Briggs tells Seattle Red's Jason Rantz he toured Skagit County today.
When I met with people who've been impacted by the floods, they said they were actually able to talk to a real-life human. Yes, they did the application online, but they were able to walk through their unique situation.
If your business was affected by last December's storms, go to sba.gov/disaster to find out more. And brace yourself if you are flying at a SeaTac airport this weekend. Officials say this Friday is expected to be the busiest spring travel day with an estimated 167,000 travelers going through. Parking is already tight. The garage is about 90% full, and all reserve spots are sold out through Saturday. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Yipper, Home Comfort Alliance has our update. Let's start in Tukwila, eastbound 518 at I-5. We just cleared a collision that had 2 lanes blocked. It's over on your right shoulder, so what little backup there is right now will clear out pretty quickly. Once you get over I-5 onto 405, that's when you're in trouble. It's bumper to bumper from I-5 all the way past the Maple Valley Highway, where drivers are slowing down due to a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder that's sticking out just a tad there in the right lane. So South Center to Bellevue will take you 35 minutes. South 405, we're jammed up from 520 through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour. 40 minutes on North 5 through downtown Seattle. It is solid between the Michigan Curve and Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 isn't too bad. Nothing out of the ordinary with stop-and-go volumes coming out of Northgate in the downtown. Down in Fife, North 5 at Porter Way, a stall still blocks that right lane. And then South 5 is bumper to bumper, almost from 320th now to the scene as drivers slow to check it out. Federal Way to Tacoma is a 20 to 25-minute drive. In southbound 167 at 410, our collision now just blocks the right lane. We had both lanes blocked for a while. So you've got one lane open. You're stacked up into Algona. Renton to Puyallup is just 40 minutes since we're seeing lighter than usual volumes this afternoon with a lot of folks on spring break. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Summer's fast approaching. Get a quote for a new air conditioning system on your phone in just 60 seconds from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com now. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Nice weather rolls on. We are seeing sunny skies, low 60s across the map, mid 60s for tomorrow. Right now, 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From downpours to backups, whatever is waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Well said, well read. I didn't really feel a lot of, didn't sense a lot of urgency.
Okay, noted.
Next time. Buckies. Buckies. Take the car to Buckies. 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 Take the car to Buckies. Buckies. I think they were going to Aaron to sing with us because he used to say, what's the name of the group?
Felt Official. Rap group.
Almost had him rap one time.
Oh, no.
You weren't that close. You tried like 5 times.
I know. I'm going to give up. All right, Bucky's Auto Service Center. 16 locations. Been around for 50 years. It's Bucky's.
Kidding.
Oh,
man.
I was about to put down a piece of cardboard so it's spinning around on my head.
I thought it was breaking news.
I didn't know what was going to. Nope. Right. Okay. 1-888-973-5476. That is the phone number. If you would like to be able to be a part of the conversation in kind of a distant way 2-3 hours after we talk about something. Were you going to behave yourself on this one, Joe?
Of course. I got nothing on this.
Mystery surrounding the death of the 9th scientist tied to the U.S. secret as disturbing pattern. Yeah, you think so? Another scientist with ties to American space program has now joined the growing list of deaths and disappearance around the United States. Michael David Hicks, a research scientist at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, passed away on July 30th, 2023, at the age of 59. But the cause of death was never made public, and no record of the autopsy has been performed or could be found. Well, why is this mysterious then? I guess we'll get a little bit of backup.
We don't know
this
why
is the ninth person. Well, the one guy just walked out the door. Let's see if they cover some of this in Fox.
A number of U.S. scientists, some connected to very sensitive research, who have died or disappeared. Carl Gromar was an astrophysicist at Caltech. He worked on a NASA-supported space telescope project and infrared systems. Now, he was shot and killed at his home just 2 months ago. Then there's Frank Maywald. He was the senior scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, focused on advanced satellite systems, and he died nearly 2 years ago, but his cause of death has never been made public.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Monica Reza also reportedly connected to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab project. She went missing last summer while hiking in California. No trace. There's William McCaslin, a retired Air Force general. He, too, is missing. He's a former head of Air Force Research Lab, oversaw advanced space and surveillance programs. He's been missing since February. And reports say he once oversaw funding connected to a project that also included Monica Reza to New Mexico. Melissa Casais. She has been missing since last summer.
Don't you hate when, like, news people mess up somebody's last name? Oof.
Couldn't edit that.
If I had a nickel.
She worked at Los Alamos National Lab. She had an administrative role, but reportedly also had security clearances. Just months.
Okay, we get it. There's 9 altogether. It's odd. Most of the time, employed people that have degrees don't just disappear or just randomly get shot. The guy, Carl Grillmar, 67 years old, was murdered on the front porch of his home on February 16, 2026. The California Institute of Technology researcher worked heavily with NASA's jet propulsion. He personally was involved in major space telescope mission at NASA. Like,
he apparently lived, it wasn't like he lived in a bad neighborhood. He lived in the middle of nowhere. His closest neighbor was a couple miles away from him.
Right. And then the one guy just left his keys and left his wallet, left his phone, just walked out the door, hasn't been seen. The woman that was out there hiking, she hasn't been seen. No one knows where they are as well. This, again, you could say, well, this is a strange coincidence, but they're all from the same basic workforce.
It is so
they
weird.
all are working on the same thing, and they're just disappearing, just suddenly being beamed up somewhere. Is it aliens?
If I had to guess, I would say they were working on something that's highly sensitive, and maybe there's a new technology that's coming out, and maybe another nation has a patent on it, or there's some vying for.
Okay, let's cast a movie here for this. All right, so we have another scientist who has now heard from somebody. They pick up a phone, he finds out, what? Oh my God, where? And then finds out, and all of a sudden the phone goes dead. Right, because now then 2 black cars drive up the driveway. The dust flies up as it's making the turn. Who's in the house? He's another scientist, and he's the guy that has all the answers.
Morgan Freeman.
No.
Jim Carrey.
Wait a minute. It can't be Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is going to be the detective trying to figure it all out.
That's a good point.
Oh,
yeah.
what?
Plus, we want him to
He
live.
waiting there at the house. No, it has to be somebody. It's got to be somebody.
David Duchovny.
No. Can we get somebody that was born like after 1994 in here?
Ooh.
Like some young. You got to get a sexy guy because now he's going to be in the main league because you got to stay alive.
So is he currently a scientist? I mean, he's still employed.
Who's the guy that played? I have his phone number. I could call him. Who's the guy that played Magic Mike?
Oh,
Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Thank you.
Channing Tatum.
Okay. Right? At one point, he's like in the shower or something.
But he looks so dumb. Is anyone going to buy him as a JPL scientist?
Glasses. Put glasses on him.
Fair. Okay.
No. He's involved with the killing. So he goes around killing people. He does the thing where they crack their head, break their head, break their neck.
Robert Pattinson. He's a good one.
All right? We okay with that?
I buy him as a
Batman.
scientist. Yeah.
Okay. And then who is behind all of the killings? Going out and say, get this guy, get that guy, get this guy. Could be a female.
I'm really blanking on actors right now.
Does anybody?
I haven't been listening. What about Zendaya?
I haven't either, huh?
Yeah,
Zendaya.
She'd be a scientist too.
Okay.
Definitely a scientist.
What's the story? I have been.
I'm sorry. We're only 5 feet away from you.
I've been writing stuff.
What we're saying is that this stuff, it seems like a movie.
Yes.
Like,
The missing scientists.
Oh. So there's actual scientists, 9 scientists that have been working on NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory that are involved with NASA, and they might be involved somehow with UFOs, have been disappearing.
Oh.
True life. So we're going to make a movie out of it.
Ooh, Steve Buscemi from Patrick and 253 to play the he's killing the scientist.
Yeah, for the bad guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Unassuming, kind of weird looking.
All right.
Spacey. He's just a bad guy.
Ooh,
No. People don't want to be during when they're resetting lights and stuff, and he's going around
people would boycott.
grabbing at you. No, that wouldn't work on him. Yeah.
I got a Spacey.
You got to get some woman who's got to be in there that's able to do all sorts of karate chopping and kill somebody.
Chopping. Ooh, okay.
Uma Thurman.
Okay,
Ooh,
well,
nice. Yes,
thank you, Nate. There we go. There's
That's
the
a good-
cast. Look for that movie coming
That would have been
out
a good
soon.
one in the late 90s.
Yeah, all of Nate's stuff is like from the 90s. It'd be like me yelling at football, right? Go, Rocky Blyer. Okay. Here again is Nate from the 90s giving you traffic from 12 years ago.
Oh, plenty. KIRO Newsradio App has the update. Out in Silverdale, southbound 3, right at 303, we've got a collision blocking all of your southbound lanes. Over in Renton, North 405 is packed from South Center, just past the Maple Valley Highway, where we've got this disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. This will probably be with us, I'm guessing, through the end of the evening commute. It's just sticking out a tad in that right lane, and that's got drivers slowing down at the scene. So South Center to Bellevue is going to take you 35 minutes. Southbound 167 and 410, a collision blocks your right lane, leaving just one lane open. Your bumper to bumper into Pacific, Renton to Puyallup, a 40-minute commute. 40 minutes north 5 through downtown Seattle. It is solid from the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. In Fife, north 5 at Porterway, we've got a stall. Looks like they've moved it off to the right shoulder now, and it's another military vehicle, our third military vehicle in 2 days on our evening commute. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
When people ask me, how did that stem cell thing go? Because you heard my the fact that I went to go see Dr. Mark Wagner. Well, it's been, I don't see, 4 months or something. I'm running again. I love that. I wasn't able to run for 7 years. I had such a bad hip. I was looking, having to get surgery, get a whole new hip. Oh, it's going to be a titanium hip. No, but you get a hip replacement. I thought, I don't want to get a hip replacement. I don't want to go through all of that. And besides, when the doctor said, well, you're too young because we want you to pass away and we don't want you to wear out the hip. It's like, okay, that's morbid. I kept thinking there's got to be another choice. Stem cells. Start doing some research. You know what name came up over and over and over again? Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he's been in this business for 30 years. He's done more than 20,000 stem cell procedures. I started talking to some of his patients that had a bad elbow or a shoulder or ankle or wrist or knee, and everyone raved about how great he was. I go in there, voila, I'm cured. I've got the stem cells. My hip's doing great. And I talked to Dr. Mark Wagner, and he checks on me, and I got to tell you something. This is the guy to see. drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
DUI? Felony charge? Trust Bradley Johnson Lawyers and 1-800-DUI-OA. Over 30 years serving the Pacific Northwest and hundreds of 5-star reviews. Every mistake has a solution at 1-800-DUI-OA.
1-800-DUI-OA! Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Listen, every day across Washington, kids stay after school giving their all for sports and activities, many on empty stomachs. That's a problem. Food insecurity in our state is at crisis levels, and it's hurting learning and performance. Safeway and Champions of Change Foundation are stepping up with Nourishing Champions, providing grants to schools for after-school meal programs. Schools don't wait. Applications close April 8th. That's April 8th. Go to championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Holy smokes! The On-Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, a well-insulated attic can be your home's secret weapon. Upgrading attic insulation is a cost-effective way to make your home more energy efficient. It also helps keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Better insulation equals better air quality, less moisture, and no mold, improving the air quality you and your family breathe. Call now for $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation, and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Hartley Wilcox here. Do you know where your food comes from? If it's perishable, you should read the package. Wilcox Farms eggs are locally fresh from Washington. For the freshest choice, choose Wilcox Family Farms.
I don't know who gets in the ears of these elected officials or anybody else. You know what you need to do? We need to do a podcast. So now RFK Jr., who sounds like a guy who had his head out a window and then the window came down on him and he's sort of stuck in the sill, right?
Yep.
And no one can quite hear him. He can't project enough volume in order to save himself. His head is just stuck in the window. I met Robert Kennedy Jr. I used to do his auction for Waterkeepers. Nice guy, but I mean, really a podcast? He took to social media to announce, and
for decades now, America.
I'm sorry, it's just yeah.
We're gonna have to hear more.
Or you're playing football. You're like a little kid playing football. You're out there. It's tackle football, and you catch the ball, and then you fall onto the ground, and you. I remember that. And
when you land on the ball.
What's that?
You land on the ball.
Land on the ball, right? And hey, don't worry, just knock the wind out of you. And then the coach does this weird thing where he grabs your belt buckle and then lifts you up. Remember that movie? And you're with me, Ian. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly what you're talking about. Why does that? It does not work.
He grabs hold of your belt. I don't know whoever came up with that one. And then they lift you up. They grab your at your stomach, like right below your belly button. His big hairy knuckles are right above your soft intestines there. He's pulling up and pulling down, and you're like, don't worry about it. You just got the air knocked out of you. Anyway, somebody grabbed RFK Jr.'s belt on this one. Here we go.
For decades now, Americans have been told that we should trust the system, but our children are sicker, chronic diseases exploding, and the answers that we've been given aren't working. Many of us have come to the conclusion that government actually lies to us. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. This podcast is about telling the truth, especially when it's uncomfortable. I'm going to have fearless conversations with critical thinkers, including independent doctors, respected scientists, and leaders in medical innovation and research. I'm going to ask the questions and lift the taboos and expose the hypocrisy and the conflicts and the corruption. We're going to follow the evidence wherever it leads.
Okay. Some of his stuff's a little kooky, but some of the stuff's right on. I don't know how many people are going to listen to it. And somebody tells them, you need a podcast. Get a podcast. Gavin Newsom's got a podcast.
Should
Do
he
a
be
podcast.
busy? I mean,
yeah, that's the other thing. Do they just think that you just sort of sit down and it's going to be good? What, an hour and a half of it? And he's going to have the guest on there? It's kind of very hard for these things to punch through. Making Meghan Markle and Harry's podcast.
Doesn't he have like government stuff to be doing?
That's what I do. Shouldn't he be at meetings?
Right.
Yeah. Put on a pair of jeans and go out and run 10 miles?
Podcast.
Let's see what else. Maybe a surprise at the end.
And we're going to name the names of the forces that obstruct the path to public health. This isn't going to be about politics. It's about our families, it's about our children, and it's about confronting the spiritual ballet.
Oh, my God. This thing's only a minute long.
Embracing the truth.
I'm having trouble breathing.
If we want a healthy nation, we have to confront the lies that have made us spiritually, morally, and physically sick. The time for half measures is now over. We're launching a new era of radical transparency in government here at HHS.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
I have a question for you. You were forced. You've committed a crime, and this is what the judge hands down. You get your choice of listening to an hour of Robert Kennedy Jr.'s podcast or an hour of Gavin Newsom's podcast. No breaks.
Gavin Newsom. I'd listen to Gavin Newsom.
At least his voice works.
Yeah, his hands are all weird.
Of all the mediums that RFK could have chosen.
He's a nice guy, and he's got that condition. He sounds a little bit like his, who is the jet boat guy?
Jet boat.
Yeah, the hydros. Oh, come on. He's like, oh, my God, I can't remember his name
help
right
you
now.
with
He's a legend. Come on.
The announcer for the Hydros?
No, he used to race. He was like the guy.
Chip Hanauer.
Chip Hanauer for 10 points. That's correct. Thank you. Thank you, Nate. Yes.
I knew Nate would come through.
Yeah, he's got I don't know if it's the same situation, but Chip struggles with that. And I talked to him. He used to shoot Botox into his vocal cords to help soften it.
Katharine Hepburn.
Katharine Hepburn for 5 points. That is correct. Here is Nate. Thank you, Nate.
Bucky's Complete Auto Care has our update. All right, Silverdale, southbound 3, right at the 303 interchange. A collision continues to block your southbound lanes. Over in Renton, North 405 is packed from South Center to the Maple Valley Highway. We've got a stall on the right shoulder, sticking out a bit there in the right lane, and that's causing this backup because everyone's slowing down right at the scene. South Center to Bellevue, plan on 35 minutes. Southbound 167 at 410, a collision blocks your right lane. You're bumper to bumper into Pacific. Renton to Puyallup, a 40-minute commute. Here in Seattle, it's 40 minutes north 5 through downtown. Solid approaching the West Seattle Bridge now across the Ship Canal. South 5, you're going to slow to 85th to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, a 25-minute commute. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both at 45 minutes. I-5 slows through Shoreline into Mill Creek. 405 scattered backups between Kirkland all the way to that Alderwood interchange. And Everett to Marysville, a 15-minute commute, slows from Broadway up to 529. For 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has earned local trust with honest pricing and guaranteed repairs. That's why they're Carfax preferred. No gimmicks, just great service. Bucky's.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dag and 8. Art Linkletter for 10 points, please. All right, if you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you don't want to wear reading glasses and bifocals, you got a whole bunch of glasses like I had at one point before I saw Dr. Kopstein over there at K2 Vision. You probably have lots of questions because I've been talking about the fact that I had a refractive lens exchange and I now have 20/20 vision. And you're thinking, okay, Curly, well, am I a good candidate? I don't know. Can it help me stop cataracts? Well, yes, it can. How long is the procedure going to take? How long is the recovery time? You have lots of questions. I'm sure you do. So here's the best thing to do. Tomorrow at noon, K2 Vision is going to be having a live webinar. So at K2 Vision RLE. And it's tomorrow at noon. It's great. And K2 Vision and the good surgeons there have performed over 150,000 of these procedures. So you know you are in good hands. But you still have a few questions that are lingering. Get them answered tomorrow. So don't miss this live webinar. It is tomorrow at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at washingtonaccidentbooks.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Washington's lottery gives out a lot of green to winners in schools and retailers awesomely. Nearly 600 mil to people that play. Another 180 mil to vocational training and education from preschool to college. Now you got the knowledge, a win-win for all of us. Play Washington lottery, lottery, lottery. Play Washington lottery, lottery, yeah.
Visit walllottery.com. Who benefits to learn more.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Iran accuses the U.S. of violating the ceasefire amid Israeli attacks on Lebanon and says the Strait of Hormuz is very much closed. But CBS's Weijia Zhang at the White House reports.
The White House disputes Iranian media reports that the strait is closed and said there was an uptick in traffic, but they do acknowledge the ceasefire is fragile. Still, Vice President Vance says he is optimistic heading into in-person peace talks. On Saturday, Vance and top negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will participate in discussions in Islamabad, Pakistan.
CBS's Elizabeth Palmer in Tel Aviv.
Iranians who had been hoping that this war might help get rid of a regime that they just despise, the people that you saw in the streets in January, many of whom were killed, now fear that the regime is going to come out of these negotiations strengthened and even more brutal.
NASA's Artemis II astronauts are on their way back to Earth after completing a historic journey around the moon, marking the first time humans have traveled beyond low Earth orbit in more than 50 years. The four-person crew is expected to splash down in the Pacific Ocean later this week. NASA's Lakeisha Hawkins.
After an exciting day of science on Monday and a day for the crew to recover and then achieve some other flight objectives yesterday, the team is turning our attention to the return and getting the crew safely home.
Hawkins says the mission sets the tone for future exploration. A California sheriff has been ordered to pause his probe into 2025 ballots.
A California county sheriff seized 1,000 boxes of election materials to investigate a complaint about the ballot count from a November 2025 special election on redistricting. But the California Supreme Court ordered the sheriff to stop his probe while justices review the legal challenge against it after the state's attorney general asked the court to step in.
That's CBS's Allison Keyes. Paramount president Jeff Shell leaves the company amid a lawsuit alleging that he violated U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission disclosure rules. Paramount Skydance, which owns CBS, says in a statement that the claims are baseless and that Shell has elected to transition from his positions as president and a member of the board of directors to focus on the lawsuit. CBS's Michael George reports on an apparent benefit of being positive.
A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that optimistic people have a 15% lower risk of developing dementia. It's believed that a positive mental attitude can support healthy aging. The results add to the growing evidence that mental health plays a role in physical health.
This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Coming up, a violent night in Kent leaves 3 people dead. We'll get to that after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by Wilcox Farms. All right, Silverdale, we've got an update. Southbound 3 at 303. This collision had all southbound lanes blocked. Now we've opened up one lane. There's a 2-mile backup. There are a number of alternate routes you can take to get around this, including Clear Creek Road, Trigger Avenue, and Silverdale Way, just to name a few. Southbound 167 and 410, we're still dealing with a collision blocking that right lane. That leaves one lane open. It's bumper to bumper into Pacific, Renton to Puyallup, just 40 minutes, which isn't bad considering this time of day. In Renton, North 405 at the Maple Valley Highway, a long-term stall on the right shoulder is crowding that right lane, and so traffic is jammed up into South Center. Half-hour commute between South Center and Bellevue. 40-minute drive, North 5 through downtown Seattle. Your backup starts at the West Seattle Bridge, goes across the Ship Canal. South 5 slows from about Lake City Way to I-90, Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both 45-minute commutes. And Seattle to Federal Way right now, we're down to just 25 minutes. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granello. A house party in Kent ends in gunfire. Police say 2 men in their 20s died last night at a home near Kent Ridge High School. This neighbor tells KIRO 7 TV he heard those gunshots at around 10:30 last night and the arguments that led up to it.
I'm kind of sad that it happened in a peaceful neighborhood like this, you know. It kind of just gives off a bad image, you know, to other people that want to eventually move out here in this neighborhood.
In a separate incident, a man was found fatally stabbed in Kent outside a convenience store on West Meeker Street. No suspects yet in either case. To Seattle now, where police arrested a murder suspect last night on the Ballard Bridge. Here's KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
They'd gotten reports of somebody climbing over the pedestrian gate that blocks foot traffic on the side of the bridge. When officers asked him who he was, they say he gave him a fake name. Well, turns out the person with that name was wanted on a felony assault warrant, so he denied being that person. Using a mobile fingerprint reader, police figured out who he really was and learned that he was wanted on a second-degree murder warrant and was supposed to be under house arrest. They say he tried to run away, but they caught him and found meth and a meth pipe on him. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Kraken just made a front office change. The team announced Ron Francis will step down as president of hockey operations at the end of this season. Team says it was a mutual decision. Francis helped launch the franchise and guided Seattle to a playoff run in its second season, but the team has not been back since. Kraken are out of the playoffs again this season after losing 10 of their last 11 games. Seattle Mariners ended a 6-game road trip today on a 5-game losing streak.
Final score of 3-0. The Mariners offense continues to struggle. Only 2 hits on the day here in Texas.
Mariners fall to 4-9 on the season, but some happy sports news now. The Seahawks, Sam Darnold, he just added another ring off the field. The Super Bowl winning QB married his longtime partner on Friday at a ceremony in Southern California. To your forecast now, sunshine this afternoon, and again for tomorrow, some increasing clouds on Friday ahead of a little bit of rain on Saturday. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show.
All right,
Listener
here we go.
introduction
Let's get
line.
off to a good start.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
This will be good.
We have a name now for the state's newest apple, created by Washington State University's breeding program. It's being called Celery. The winning name follows a public contest that drew more than 15,000 entries.
Didn't see that coming.
Described as tart, crunchy, and juicy. Celery will reach grocery stores by 2029.
That's not fair. You are a professional newsman.
Yeah.
They twist your words to make no sense.
Yeah, that is an erroneous report.
Yes, that's it's not celery.
No.
It was.
What was? Was that the Cosmic Crisp?
No, the new one. I think it was
It wasn't the name I came up with.
Solar something or other. Solar.
No,
can't remember.
Quite memorable. Diving into it.
They should have went with my suggestion.
Yours was?
Juicy Pelusi.
There you go.
That's right.
Nicely done. All right. Well, use the madman theory. I'm crazy. I'll blow up everything. I'll kill everybody. And the guy on the other end that is supposed to go, that guy's crazy, is like, good, so do we. We kill everyone, too. We take 10-year-old children. We send them into the fields to clear mines. 36,000 of them have died. We recruit children. We send them to fight. 12-year-olds, come fight. I'm just as crazy as you are. And the other guy's going, well, I'm kind of acting like I'm crazy. Well, guess what? I really am. That's why the madman theory doesn't work. But Trump thought he would try it, and it bought him some time. As everybody knows how the story works now. So Pakistan goes before the president and says, listen, I've just spoken to the folks over there in Iran, and they got a plan. They're going to stop. They want a ceasefire. They want you to stop for a little while. Now they're going to continue to – Israel's going to be shooting missiles into Lebanon. Lebanon's going to be shooting missiles into Israel. And the proxy terrorists are also going to be shooting missiles into Saudi Arabia, Dubai, place like that. But don't worry about that. Here's what they want. They have got a 10-point 10-point thing that Iran wants, which, by the way, basically says we want everything we had before you started shooting and bombing, and then we want you to clean up all the mess and give us all a whole bunch of money to repair all the buildings, right? U.S. should commit, in principle, to guaranteed no aggression. All right. Number 2, Iran continues controlling the Strait of Hormuz. Last time I checked, the Strait of Hormuz is not controlled by anybody. You're not allowed to control it. It's not like the Panama Canal or something. This is an open body of water, and no country can go in there and stop any other country from navigating through the strait. But for some reason, they're allowed to set that up. Iran's uranium enrichment right should be accepted. That's interesting because I think it was, who was it that went to that? Was it, I mentioned it was Switzerland?
You said
Sweden?
Switzerland.
Was it Switzerland? Switzerland and another country, might have been Pakistan, said, I'll tell you what, we honor the idea that you want to have nuclear energy, and we understand that you need uranium. We will give you all the uranium you want, but not spun up to the point where it can be used as nuclear weapons. We'll give it to you, so you don't have to worry about it. You can have it as a gift. And Iran's like, yeah, nice try, but no, that's an insult. And the list goes on with the rather intense stuff. And what you basically get is they want everything, and if not, they're going to continue to cause problems. Well, the president looks at this thing and says, oh, good. Okay, now we get how many weeks? 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks off. Though the bombs are still flying, it seems like nobody really cares about actually withholding. There's no ceasefire in play. It's just that they stopped the idea of them being completely destroyed and a civilization that would never be seen again.
That's right. The ceasefire essentially lasted for about 12 hours, and then Lebanon got hit a couple times, and so Iran said, okay, and they had the strait was open for 12 hours, then Lebanon got hit, Iran fired back, and now they've closed the strait again.
Lift all primary sanctions, lifting all secondary sanctions, termination of UN Security Council resolution. Okay. Termination of the International Atomic Energy Board, get rid of those guys. Payment of compensation for the damages there. Withdraw U.S. combatant forces in the region, and a cessation of war on all fronts, including against the heroic Islamic resistance in Lebanon. Oh, you mean Hezbollah? All right. So it just buys them some time. There is a great story. I thought I'd never say that. In the New York Times. Did you read it, Joe?
I read some of it.
I don't know how they got this. I don't know how they got it. But there's a new book coming out called Regime Change Inside the Imperial Presidency of Donald Trump. So this, Jonathan Swang and Maggie Haberman, they take you, and again, it was such a small group of Trump cabinet members at one point in the room. I think it's only like 6 or 7 in a room that was set up for foreign leaders, and they walk you through the 2 big meetings. The first meeting occurred, a black SUV carrying Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives at the White House just before 11 a.m. on February 11th. The Israeli leader will be pressing for months and has been pressing for months the United States to agree to a major assault in Iran. He's whisked inside with little ceremony, outside the view of reporters, primed for one of the most high-stakes moments in his long career. He sits down, and in an hour, in a PowerPoint presentation, and the head of the Secret Service there, the CIA equivalent in the Mossad. I forget the leader of the Mossad. He's sitting there too. So he's on video screen, and you have Benjamin Netanyahu walking through the plan. And the president's sitting there listening. He's not sitting at the head of the table where he normally sits. He's sitting at a different one. And it's a small group of people, and they're all listening, and he lays it all out. And Vance is not there. Vance is, I think, somewhere overseas. So he finishes the hard sell, basically saying there's going to be 4 things that are going to happen. We're going to kill the Ayatollah. We will then stop all their abilities to be able to shoot a whole bunch of missiles at a bunch of places. And then we're going to get them, of course, we'll close down all of the uranium. And then the other thing is regime change. So the president sat back and listened to it, and Netanyahu came in for the close. And it said, Netanyahu delivers his presentation in a confident monotone. It seemed to land well with the most important person in the room, the president. Sounds good to me, Mr. President. Sounds good to me, Mr. Trump told the prime minister. To Mr. Netanyahu, signaled this is a green light for the U.S.-Israeli operation. And then at that point, they was sort of going along. And then the president was checking with different people. What do you think? What do you think? And a number of the people that were in there with him were like, this is crap. This is not going to work. You won't be able to get this done. Farcical was what I think it was, who said a farcical in this? It might have been Rubio. Vance said, I don't think it's going to work, but I'll back you up. And others that were involved said that it won't succeed. Yeah, you'll be able to kill Ayatollah, and you will be able to, take out some of the rockets and some of the defense they have. But as far as regime change, like, where's that going to happen? And then I think a couple of weeks later, the president then, while flying somewhere on Air Force One, contacted the folks in charge and said, yeah, it's a go. No delay, and green light the whole project. And that was the beginning of it. Vance was skeptical to the whole thing and thought, I will back you on this thing, but I think Israel often oversells. They were wrong about Syria. They've been wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about a whole bunch of stuff, and they don't go for it. And he did. And there you go. And now you know the rest of the story. But it would be interesting to read that book. And again, how they really tried to stop anybody from in there leaking and being in the room with them. But regime change inside the imperial presidency of Donald Trump.
I've got a little bit of sound of CNN talking about it. You want to hear it?
Aren't they fake news?
I mean, they're owned by, what's his name now?
Okay, CNN, Netanyahu. Here we go.
Also in this report is Prime Minister Netanyahu went into the White House on February 11th and gave some very bold, optimistic assessments of what could happen if the U.S. and Israel went to war there.
Into the Situation Room.
Into the Situation Room. Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have the Israeli Prime Minister in the Situation Room with a small group of people, according to the reporting. When Mr. Trump joined the meeting of the U.S. intelligence officials after that Netanyahu briefing, Mr. Ratcliffe briefed him on the assessment. The CIA director used one word to
farcical.
describe the Israeli prime minister's regime change scenarios. Farcical. At that point, Mr. Rubio cut in other words, it's bull.
Yeah. They said, yeah, you'll take out the Ayatollah. That's not going to be hard. We can get him. Yes, you can damage their ability to produce more fuel for nuclear weapons, and we can really do a number on their ability to defend themselves. That's 1 and 2. But regime change, so that's not going to happen. Because how are you going to make that happen? How does that happen? He thought the president was so confident after what happened in Venezuela They were like, oh, this is easy. We'll get Maduro out of there. We'll put him in jail in New York. Some other guy will step in. Well, there we go. That's regime change. It hasn't really improved that much. It's a little better, but, and again, you can't just say I'm a crazy person when the person you're talking to is crazier than you are. Right?
Agreed.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Press Secretary Karen Leavitt claims that Trump threw Iran's 10-demand letter in the trash.
So let me be clear and correct the
I hate let me be clear.
record.
They all do that. This is a pausing thing.
The Iranians originally put forward a 10-point plan that was fundamentally unserious, unacceptable, and completely discarded. It was literally thrown in the garbage by President Trump and his negotiating team.
That's not what he said.
No.
Because he got the thing and he goes, hey, I like this. In fact, I like this idea of tolling the Strait of Hormuz.
He said, and I quote, this is exactly what he said. He said, we received a 10-point proposal from Iran, and I believe it is a workable basis with which to negotiate.
Okay. You could go the same way we're negotiating. You ask for a whole bunch of stuff and you back off of it. You could accept this thing and say, you know what, okay, I can work with this. Now, whether they iron it all out or not.
And this is just...
It's all going to go back to exactly where it was before. Nothing, other than the Ayatollah, you got another person in there who apparently, who knows if that guy could be worked with. You've taken out a lot. The main point of this war, for everybody surrounded by this terrorist state that is the number one terrorist organization, they do the best at killing a whole bunch of innocent people and holding other countries hostage. You have to eliminate the threat, but you can't, because if you don't cut off the head and then get the tail and everything else with it, that's still there. And they'll be able to rise from this fire and say, look at this, we're stronger than ever. And then the people there, like we had Sam on from Redmond yesterday, who grew up in Iran, he said at that point, the people of Iran will be like, no one came to save us. Where do we go? We'll stick with who we have in place now. And you're right back to where you were. Netanyahu immediately appeared on Israeli television announcing his goals.
Israel is stronger than ever. This is the bottom line of this campaign up until now. Let me say, there are still additional objectives for us to achieve, and we will achieve them either by agreement or by resumption of the fighting. We are ready to resume the fighting at any moment. Our finger is on the trigger. As you know, 2-week ceasefire has been announced between the U.S. and Iran. No, we were not surprised in the last moment, and I want to emphasize, this is not the end of the war.
Right. No, it's not the end of the war. Here's the problem. The president is facing a number of things. One, poll rating is bad. Going in to the elections in the House and the Senate, not good. Inflation could kick back in again. Last time, the big one, 73 to 74, March of 74. The Dow lost 40 points. The price of oil went up. You're considering all of that stuff. You don't have the American people with you on it. What are we doing there? As Joe Kent talked about it, releasing a video yesterday. He said, warning that Israel may try to sabotage the negotiations.
It's absolutely essential that we ensure that the Israelis do not sabotage this 2-week ceasefire or eventually the lasting peace that we're trying to achieve with the Iranians. We're on the cusp of being able to have the Strait of Hormuz reopened. The last thing we need is the Israelis doing what they have done in past negotiations and targeting the negotiators or taking a series of strikes that escalates the conflict. In order to ensure that we can restrain the Israelis, we actually have to start removing features of the military support that we give to them. We have to take away enough from them that they simply cannot go on the offense, that they're using all their military capabilities that we provide for them and that they have organically for the defense of their country and not for offensive operations inside of Iran. I continue to pray for peace, pray for President Trump, pray for him to have clarity, pray for successful peace negotiations, pray for our men and women downrange in harm's way.
Yeah, remember President Trump, what month was that? Was it last year? No, right after, I guess, the first bombing.
Last June?
Yeah, last June. And he said, I don't know, he doesn't know what the blank he's doing. I don't know what the heck he's doing, talking about Benjamin Netanyahu. So many different pieces moving back and forth on this thing. And again, you went in with a program to be able to take care of the first two. Yes, regime change, which is ultimately the thing you're supposed to do. How do you make that happen? J.D. Vance reporters in Lebanon were not part of the agreement.
I actually think, and there's a lot of bad faith negotiation and a lot of bad faith, propaganda going on. I think this comes from a legitimate misunderstanding. I think the Iranians thought that the ceasefire included Lebanon, and it just didn't. We never made that promise. We never indicated that was going to be the case. What we said is that the ceasefire would be focused on Iran, and the ceasefire would be focused on America's allies, both Israel and the Gulf Arab states.
Okay. Well, Hezbollah's still there, and they're still launching missiles, and then so they're bombing into Lebanon. Israel's going to Lebanon. So Lebanon is the north of Israel, and they're basically
Lebanon
surrounded by
was
their friends.
Part of the ceasefire as well.
Right. But the rockets keep flying. Oh, it's a tight spot he's gotten himself into. And he trusted his gut on this thing, and now I think he's trying to find some sort of off-ramp. But here we go again. Right, 1983, Iran in Beirut, killing 200 and some Marines, and then the next year, Reagan pulls everybody out. And it sends a message that resonates throughout the Middle East that the United States, kind of a paper tiger. You can do what you want to them. Well, the good news is Nate's checking traffic. Nathan?
Yes, sir. Wilcox Farms has our update. Relatively lighter than normal volumes across most of the map this afternoon. In Puyallup, we're dealing with this long-term collision, though. Southbound 167 and 410. It's blocking the right lane, so that leaves one lane open. You're bumper to bumper to Ellingson Road and Pacific. This is the only backup, though, along the Valley Freeway this afternoon. Renton to Puyallup is a 40-minute drive. Tacoma to Olympia, less than 40 minutes. In Renton, North 405 is packed from I-5 past the Maple Valley Highway, where we have a stalled vehicle partially blocking that right lane, mostly on the shoulders. South Center to Bellevue is going to take you a half hour. It's 40 minutes North 5 through downtown Seattle still. It is solid just past the Michigan curve up across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 heavy from 85th to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. Bellevue to Renton is a 25-minute trip. Solid backup from 520 down to the Renton Landing. And out in Silverdale, southbound 3 at 303. We're still on scene of this collision. It's blocking 2 out of 3 lanes, and you've got about a 2-mile backup that starts near State Route 308. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I'll tell you, I know what it's like. I've been there. The hair begins to thin. The crown disappears. That hair loss just kind of robs you of your identity. That's how I felt 14, 15 years ago or something like that, before I visited Advanced Hair. Because Advanced Hair's got this simple one-day treatment. They regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you. Because if your hair's going away and it's not coming back, you have a couple of choices to make. Let's see. Go comb over, shave your head, collection of baseball hats, or, let's see, how about just getting your own natural hair back? You can set up a free consultation, get $250 off and 250 free hair graft by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. 2 years in a row for those guys. 425-449-8185. And check out the before and after pictures right there for you at advancedhair.com.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, The shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume 2.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Are you stuck staring at your W-2? Are tax refund worries holding you back? You probably have FOMO, the fear of messing up. The fix? Using TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. It's time to overcome your fear of messing up and get your taxes done right. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Olympic Hot Tub Sweet Spring Savings Event is here. Now through April 14th, thanks to incredible factory discounts, you can save up to $16,500 on an amazing endless pool swim spa. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Rev up your life at America's Car Museum. Perfect for all ages. It's more than a museum. It's an experience. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see the real machines in the birth of the American supercar. Curated by Steve Saleen. Featuring legendary Shelby Cobras and GT40s. Enjoy cruise-ins, drive-ins under the stars, and next-generation race simulators. Grab the family, invite friends, and accelerate the heart rate of fun and learning. Plan your visit today at americascarmuseum.org.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. That's 2-week ceasefire in the Middle East now looks to be on shaky ground as Iran accuses Israel of violating the truce by striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. In response, Iran says it has closed the Strait of Hormuz. Vice President J.D. Vance pushed back on those reports.
We've already seen an increase in traffic today. Hopefully we'll see an increase in traffic tomorrow. We actually think that we are seeing signs that the straits is starting to reopen.
The vice president is set to take part in truce negotiations this weekend in Pakistan, as we hear from CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
The vice president, Steve Witkoff, the president's global envoy to trouble spots all over the world, I guess is one way to call him, and Jared Kushner, his son-in-law, who has also been involved in high-stakes negotiations in the Middle East, are scheduled to head Saturday to Islamabad to engage with Iranian officials by way of the Pakistanis, who have brokered this tenuous ceasefire and have agreed to host the talks.
Price of oil did drop below $100 a barrel on news of the ceasefire, but still no relief at the pump. Average gas prices in Washington held steady overnight, $5.39 a gallon. Diesel continues to rise with the new record average set today in Washington at $6.89. City of Tacoma is now on a temporary hiring freeze. Here's KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery with that.
That includes internal promotions, and it's going to run through the end of the year. The city, like many others, is grappling with rising costs and lower than expected revenues. They say this freeze is proactive to help protect against budget deficits. A hiring freeze in 2024, the city says, saved about $4.8 million. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Northwest loses a mountaineering legend. Jim Whittaker has died. The Seattle native became the first American to summit Mount Everest in 1963. He also climbed Mount Rainier more than 100 times. His family says Whittaker died yesterday at his home in Port Townsend. He was 97. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. This one brought to us by D.R. Horton and Puyallup, southbound 167 at 410. This long-term collision blocks your right lane, leaving just one lane open. Thankfully, we have light volumes today because a lot of folks are on spring break this week. So it is bumper to Ellingson Road there in Pacific, but it could be worse this time of day. So right now, this is the only backup on your Maple Valley Freeway. On your Valley Freeway. Renton to Puyallup is a 40-minute drive. In Fife, we've got a new collision north 5 at the Fife curve, blocking 2 left lanes, including the HOV. You're backed up approaching 54th. Northbound 405 heading through Renton is heavy from South Center past the Maple Valley Highway, where we have a long-term disabled vehicle partially blocking your right lane. So South Center to Bellevue, plan on a half hour. 40 minutes north 5 through downtown Seattle. It's solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Southbound I-5 heavy from 85th to I-90. 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. And out in Silverdale, southbound 3 at 303. This long-term collision now blocking 2 out of 3 lanes. You're in about a 2-mile thick backup starting at State Route 308. And according to State Patrol, this was caused by a suspected DUI. D.R. Horton has new homes and communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington ready for you. Visit drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
And our sunny streak rolls on. We'll see more clear skies tomorrow. Partly cloudy by Friday, but temperatures in the mid to upper 60s the next couple of days. Right now, 61 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
No, not buggies. All right, Tinny, if you'd be so kind. Sorry, you're on the floor. All right, there go the names of all the players spinning around and around and around in brightly colored kaleidoscope of colors. It lands on Joe. And it has it's got a picture of you down in a rabbit hole. Do you have a egg recipe or perhaps a conspiracy of some sort you'd like to share with us?
I call this the tinfoil crack. You crack it in a piece of tinfoil. You wrap it up. You put that on the top of your old Ford, F-150 from 1968.
Yeah.
Crank the engine up. Cook that thing for about 5 minutes. Crack it right down on the floor and eat it.
Right. Do that before they come and get you.
That's right.
All right. These kids with their TikToks, I'm telling you, they got this TikTok thing going. So the latest obsession is to try to run into any one of the Scientology headquarters. And you go into the LA one, apparently that's where the record has been set. So the innovative new trend is to just kids run in there, go as far in there, and then they'll eventually grab you and turn you around. But how far in to the Scientology? Who came up with this one?
I don't know, but I love it.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, I'm in Scientology! We're in Scientology! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out, bro! It's a cult! Get out! Get out! Get out! Oh! Oh! Don't grab me, bro! Don't grab me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Get out! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Don't touch me, please.
Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
Don't touch me, please.
Holy! Holy!
Okay. That really loses something on radio, doesn't it? But as a kid with a blue shirt on and floppy hair.
Oh no, that's a different one. That was a different one.
Oh.
This is the record right now.
You're gonna play? Okay.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Oh, he goes all the way downstairs. He's in the basement. Oh, they're chasing him everywhere.
Oh, it's nice in here. Yeah, you gotta get out. Okay, I'll leave. Get out.
fantastic.
Is it a church? It's private property.
Yeah, I mean, clearly they're trespassing.
Right.
But if you're going to trespass somewhere...
I'm looking at it. Followers of Church of Scientology, holding a set of beliefs, practices blending self-improvement, spirituality, and teachings from L. Ron Hubbard. The religion is complex, and some believe the secrets are high level. But here's the way the structure works. So there's the immortal spiritual self, known as the Thetan, right?
Yes, Thetans.
Thetans is an immortal spiritual being separate from the body and the mind. The Thetans live through many past lives and will continue to live beyond the current body. Human suffering, mental blocks, spiritual limitations are thought to come from past traumas of the Thetans, sometimes called the engrams. All right. I don't know why they call them different names. Then they do auditing, which is central practice, which is a one-on-one counseling session designed to identify and clear engrams, negative memories. And then they use this thing called an E-meter, a device that measures changes in electrical resistance in the skin, which is claimed to reflect the spiritual and emotional state. All right. Completing the auditing level helps the person progress spiritually and achieve clear status and a state of freedom from engrams. All right.
Essentially, it functions.
I mean, a lot of religions got a whole bunch of stuff, and you're like, you got a little bit of faith in there. So who's hurt by it? I don't get it.
Well, so it's set up evidently kind of like a pyramid scheme. So you're paying a lot in, especially at the bottom. If you're famous and you're making a lot of money, I think, and getting a lot of exposure for the church, and you end up kind of paying a little bit less. They also they're pressure.
It's like getting into a country club.
Kind of like a country club.
All right.
They members are pressured to cut ties with family members, other people that aren't involved in the church.
Kind of like a country club.
Kind of like a country club or religion. They do a lot of, and I've seen some documentaries on this where if you leave the church, they will follow you around, harass you, spy on you for some reason. I don't know why. I think they just want you to not talk about it. That boat I mentioned, it's called Sea Org, and they're accused of child labor on board that thing, and I think that's almost like a re-education camp of some sort that they keep a couple miles offshore.
The highest levels of OT3 and beyond, members learn secret teachings from what?
Is it Xenu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
An alien overlord and events that allegedly cause spiritual trauma for humanity. These teachings are kept confidential until the members reach the required levels and are considered central to the understanding of human suffering. All right. Again, here's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You can find kooky stuff in a whole bunch of religions.
Fair.
No matter what it is, I don't care. And people that don't believe in God, they just crap on all of it. Right. Oh, okay. Oh, well, you're a spaghetti strainer, God in the sky. But to me, I look at it, if it helps you be aware of the fact that you are not God and that there is a power and there is a force that is greater than anything that anyone can possibly understand, and there's a force of good and a force of evil, and if you can align yourself with the force of good and do good things for other people, that's why we're here, I believe, then whatever it is your religion helps you stay within those guardrails, then I've got no problem with it. And if it's a religion that has you going out there and doing terrible things to people, you stoning somebody, cutting somebody's head off, you find out they're gay, you throw them off a roof, I have a problem with that. You put a bomb around your waist and you go in and you're 12 years old and you blow yourself up and blow up a whole bunch of other people. I don't think that's kind of the religion that I would want to see to be spread around the world. But if your religion helps you stay focused on the fact that you are here, that there's something else greater than yourself, and do something good for somebody else, that's fine with me. Now, I don't see anywhere in this Church of Scientology where they're like, oh, and then go out there and minister to the poor or give any money or help out with anything.
Well, I think people find it odd, too, that it was created by a science fiction writer, in the 60s or something like that. So it sounds a little grifty.
Yeah, but aren't there other sort of, you don't call them religions necessarily, but there's sort of philosophies. You could go Alan Watts, right? 1967, Alan Watts in England, coming to the United States, not doing so well. But his whole belief was, and like Eckhart Tolle and the power of now, that you only have right now. There is no past. There is no future. It's just right now at this moment, and trying to get rid of all the past things that you've been thinking about has been holding you back. That's not the way to live. So that's sort of it's not a philosophy. I guess it's sort of a philosophy, modern philosophy. Sure. And this is sort of a philosophy as well. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it. Well, that's
like, what do you do then once you're sort of free of all this stuff? Then what do you do?
Yeah,
you're out there like Mother Teresa?
Well, they're very secretive too, and unless you're in there and you've cleared all these thetans or whatever, reached some higher level, you don't really get to know. So.
Right, you don't get to that level.
I think
I can see
jealous.
where it's like multi-level marketing, where you're just selling a lot of hand cream to your neighbors. But like, I guess once you get to a certain point, then all of a sudden they tell you about the secret language, and you find out all the secret stuff.
Yeah, maybe they got it all figured out, and we're just.
Did anybody from the Church of Scientology call us or write us? Oh, they must be.
They did not. But
we should call them.
They're not allowed to talk about it. That's the thing.
Oh, is that it? Oh,
yeah. Good try there, Nate.
Well, yeah.
All right. I guess they're all on spring break on that cruise. Right. Okay, here's Nate checking traffic.
Seattle Sports has the update. In Puyallup, we just cleared that crash, southbound 167 and 410. So it's still packed between Pacific and Sumner. Renton to Puyallup, we're down just a bit to 35 minutes. In Fife, North 5 at the Fife curve, a collision now blocks 3 left lanes, including the HOV. Your bumper-to-bumper to the Port of Tacoma Road, Tacoma to Federal Way, is up to 20 minutes. In Renton, northbound 405, we're packed from South Center past the Maple Valley Highway, where we have this long-term disabled vehicle partially blocking that right lane. South Center to Bellevue still taking you right around a half hour. Seattle to Federal Way, 25 minutes. We're all clear till you get to State Route 516, and from there, it's just minor crowding down to 272nd before you clear out. Here in Seattle, 45 minutes now to get through downtown Seattle on northbound I-5. It is solid from the Michigan curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5, we're thinning out, heavy from northeast 50th to I-90. And in Silverdale, southbound 3 at 303, a collision still blocks 2 out of your 3 lanes. And again, State Patrol told us that this is caused by a suspected DUI. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Congratulations to KIRO News Radio's Charlie Harger and digital content producer Patrick Janasek, nominated for a Northwest Emmy Award for investigative reporting.
It began with a question from the community. It seemed almost too stunning to be true.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the only radio station nominated for the prestigious Emmy Award as part of our commitment to impactful storytelling across every platform, reaching into the communities we serve. On KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim, and you know what they say, April showers bring May clogged and overflowing gutters. However, Valentine Roofing, they've got you covered. Right now, you can bundle and save 10% off your entire job when you add new gutters to any new roofing project. Plus, with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine makes it easy. Schedule your free roofing and gutter estimate today to bundle and save 10%. Just call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with 0 investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
I'm Carolyn Osorio, the host of the Shadow Girls podcast, a deep dive into the Green River Killer investigation, and the only known survivor.
He got both hands on my neck. I couldn't do nothing.
Rebecca did do something. It was her tip that proved pivotal in the arrest and conviction of Gary Ridgway. Join us on April 9th for a true crime event, the behind-the-scenes story of how an imperfect witness finally got her reward. Tickets available right now at nwcave.org.
Everyday students stay after school for sports, clubs, and tutoring, many on empty stomachs. Safeway and Champions of Change offer grants for after-school meal programs. Schools must apply by April 8th at championsofchangefoundation.org and click Nourishing Champions.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Advanced Hair Restoration. Thank you, Sean. Hudson, I believe you have a song you'd like to sing about being a mailman. Yes, okay. You can see, yes.
I'm a mailman.
All right. Don't mess with you.
I'm a mailman.
Right? Nope.
I'm a mailman. I bring the mail to you.
Oh, nice. We'll get to the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Joseph.
Dennis in Seattle says, wait, that's not his most recent one. Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on.
Oh, Lord,
Come on.
EB. If we don't have
Dennis
this,
said
none of the rest
something
of stuff's going to
crazy.
make
He said something
sense.
crazy. It's kooky.
Go
Trust
gets
me.
kooky. Okay.
All right.
Adam from Staples Driver. He says, Joe, that's a Weird Al parody, the Addicted to Spuds. Okay. That's where they came from. Thank you.
Dang, I thought he wrote it. Aubrey from Gig Harbor says, life is like a dog sled race, but if you ain't the lead dog, the scenery never changes.
Old Man John on Pumpkin says, just like marijuana, got to trim the sucker's leaves. to get the big buds.
Boat worker Seth says John doesn't have the cold, steely nerves required to be a giant pumpkin farmer.
I think you're right.
Let me get this one, too. It's long. 206 says, hola, John. What a great phrase, salivating like a jackal. I just binged Day of the Jackal, series with Eddie Redmayne. He's an assassin. Lashana Lynch is also amazing as the MI6 agent in Hot Pursuit. Locations in Germany, Spain, and Estonia.
Yeah, that's the original movie. Really good, too, and a good book. Dwayne from the QFC says they should put a snack dish on the turntable that John brought. Yeah, that'd be a nice turn, because right now it's just sitting there.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. I thought he meant a record player.
No, it's right there Thursday.
Okay. Ann in Renton said, yes, they fired Bondi so she could avoid testifying. Absolutely 100%. I am a conservative, but after all the books I've read, I'm confident GJT did some bad deeds and he doesn't want his base to find out. You guys are great. Keep it up.
Jesse B says, Aaron is such a tease.
That's right. It was
he wouldn't give us, wouldn't do the yep.
On therapy, Doug in Mount Vernon.
Oh.
Doug says, therapy covered by KIRO, scheduled for an hour, but get 45 minutes. The station needed 15 minutes of commercials to cover the session.
Now that's funny. That's good.
Accurate.
Good stuff. B and Pure Love says, I had a therapist quit after 3 months of seeing me. She became a real estate agent, and at this day sends me Christmas cards every year. A thank you on the card.
Veronica says, oftentimes the sessions are 15 minutes, thus giving the therapist time to either take notes or refresh before the next appointment.
Scientology, Andrew in the 509 says, didn't Katie Holmes say that when she was giving birth to her and to Tom's kid, she wasn't allowed to scream or cry in pain? Oh,
sounds familiar.
Okay.
Kirk from Tacoma says, watch the HBO special on Scientology. Will answer all your questions.
I'll put that in the what to watch category.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny. Thank you very much from the floor. Joe, I believe you have that.
I'm working on it.
Joe?
Lance in Manchester.
Yes.
He says, sounds like John could use a nice commercial scale for his giant pumpkin. Put the scale in place and add special boards, then a layer of sand, and then the chosen pumpkin. Every day, John could take a picture of the latest scale, weight, and bore Joe to tears with, hey, look how big it is. It's a good idea. 60 pounds a day.
That's crazy.
I mean, we could literally watch it grow.
Yeah.
Get a cam on
Nate
there.
was doing that when you used to have all the donuts on the table.
Cookies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the strength and the intestinal fortitude to cut the little ones away.
Apparently, you better get started next week.
All right, for the big pumpkin.
I can't wait for the pumpkin pie.
The pumpkin what?
Pie.
Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate,
Wilcox Farms has the update. All right, North 5 at the Fife Curve. We got a collision taking up your 3 left lanes. You're backed up to the Puyallup River Bridge. That's a bumper-to-bumper backup. Tacoma to Federal Way is at 25 minutes. North 405 heading into Renton is packed from South Center past the Maple Valley Highway, where we have a long-term disabled vehicle partially blocking the right lane. So South Center to Bellevue, we're still at a half hour. Bellevue to Renton, 25 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 25 minutes. 45 minutes now, North 5 through downtown Seattle. It is packed from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 slows from about Northeast 50th to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on 520. About 5 minutes quicker on I-90. And out towards Silverdale, southbound 3 at 303. A collision still blocks 2 of your 3 lanes. And this was a suspected DUI-involved crash, so it looks like State Patrol is going to be on scene here for a little while. For a convenient, healthy snack on the go, look for ready-to-eat Wilcox hard-boiled eggs. Find Wilcox eggs at Costco, Metro Market, Safeway, and other local grocers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
let's see if this is you. If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but now you need reading glasses or bifocals, you got to see Dr. Kopstein and Dr. King at K2 Vision RLE. They've got a live webinar coming up tomorrow at noon. You can learn more about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This is a free webinar. It's the perfect opportunity to meet the doctors. If you've got questions, they've got the answers at K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, is refractive lens exchange different from LASIK and EVOICL? Why be a good candidate? How much does it cost? Is there financing? A whole bunch of questions that you have, but you know where the answers are? The answers are right there for you. Tomorrow at noon, K2 Vision's RLE live webinar. And the surgeons are going to be there, and they will be able to answer the questions for you, and they've got the experience. More than 150,000 of these procedures they've been able to do. And I can tell you from personal experience, I got 20/20 vision now. 4 years ago, I went in there to K2 Vision, and I came out, and I've got great eyesight. Register K2VisionRLE.com for that webinar tomorrow at noon.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to Puget Sound Express naturalists, the Salish Sea is buzzing right now with Bigg's orcas. These apex predators are on the prowl for seals, sea lions, and porpoises. In the past week alone, tours observed more than 6 different orca families in action. Also, migrating sounder gray whales have been feeding in social groupings near Whidbey Island before resuming their journey to Alaska. Plus, humpback whales are starting to arrive as well. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of beautiful Port Townsend on the Olympic Peninsula. Orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
G and Ursula on KIRO News Radio.
You're not going to be able to stop what's going to happen.
I hope he's successful.
9 to noon, streaming live on your smart speaker.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.